Hello there. Hopefully I'm live now. Should be. I know I'm a little early, but figure nice to be a little early than late. What's this? Cool, cool. How's everyone doing? Honestly, I haven't really looked that closely at the market today, to be quite honest. Let me minimize this. Hopefully this works. Nope. That is not it either. Where is it? Let's see here. There it goes. Man, I thought I had it, but I guess not. Oh well. Just post it. There it goes. That works. What's up, Bobby Green? I'm a bit early. That email's a bit late. Watching you and pray, same. Bobby Green, hope the grails don't slip away. I thought so too. Like, a lot of people are thinking like the grails are gonna like slip away if we can't add in more gems. I think the opposite might happen. I think the grail, I mean, right now grails are still going down in price. I mean, arguably a lot of the very, very high tier stuff, right? And like, if there's just not people putting in money, people that want to get rid of their grails, they're just gonna keep undercutting. Like, if legitimately nobody buys a Todd for a week, whoever wants to sell their Todd, they're just going to keep undercutting or keep lowering their price to sell it, right? At least that's the way I see it. So market is at its lowest point. Drops won't sell out and resell is below box prices. Yeah, for certain collectibles. I mean, look at the stamps. They're not doing that. I mean, I'll even pull it up right here. I know that might be, you guys can see that, right? So like the common Benjamin Franklin's at 7.1. I know stamps are a small exception, but these are all above box price. It just depends on the drop. I mean, it's pretty, unless it's a very valuable comic in real life, most comics are just going to do that thing. Like the common and uncommon are below retail. The rare, I mean, nowadays, unless it's a completely trash tier comic, like the rare is at least profitable, but some of the ones recently have not been profitable, even at the rare level. And, you know, obviously ultra rare and secret rare profitable. So Tucson Collectibles, what's up, dude? Dude, I always laugh whenever I see that, this one. Let's see if it'll pop up. That emoji. I don't know why, but it just looks like someone's giving me the birdie. I don't know why, but I know it's like a thumbs up, but it just looks like someone's just giving me the bird, which I appreciate too. I appreciate the honesty. That's how you truly feel. Rich Buddy, the stamps are garbage. I wouldn't say they're garbage. It's just, are they collectible? Yes, they're one of the most collectible things technically in the world. Like it's up there with, you know, what people collect. But and presidential stamps are a very collectible niche that does exist in like the stamp collecting community. But that's the other thing, right? Is like, are these stamp collectors, are they going to be interested in basically digital versions? You know, this is stamp art and not actual stamps. Does that play a role? Who knows? I mean, to be quite honest, I was having a ton of lag on this drop, and out of my 3 phones that I pressed buy on, 2 of them actually worked. The third one, I don't know why, but it was always behind. Like even when I would refresh it, all the numbers would match, but one phone would always like lag behind a full second. So that one didn't get a drop, but for whatever reason, when I refreshed them, I clicked buy on all three of my phones, but only 2 went through, and it also took like 15 to 20 seconds for it to like finally show the buy button. Like when I was watching Veve Vault's stream, he was like buy, you know, he was doing the quick gate, so when he buy, close out, buy, close out, buy, he was able to do that, but I couldn't. I clicked buy and I was waiting, and I'm like, did I not get this drop? Like, what's happening? Like, I almost closed out of the transaction because I'm like, there's something weird going on here, but luckily I just let it go. And one phone got a common George Washington, which I think I just sold for like $8.99 or whatever. And then I also got a secret rare. So I actually ended up getting the secret rare whole stamp sleeve or collection. What did they call it? Stamp sheet. That's what it's called. And I think I sold this for 95. Like the day it came out. Like I was like, yeah, could I have waited and it goes up to 120? But I had no idea. Like honestly, I thought this thing would go no higher than 85, but once it hit 100, I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna sell it and not look back. I'll take the free, like 88 gem profit or whatever it is if you win the secret rare. So I just did that. So I'm not, I said it at least 3 or 4 times before the drop happened. I'm like, full disclosure, like I'm not holding any of these. I'm gonna flip it immediately. I'd much rather have gems for San Diego Comic-Con than have these stamps that are collectible, yes, but like God knows how long it's gonna take for like actual stamp collectors to come on the app, you know, believe in NFTs, believe these are actual stamps and all that stuff. So I don't know. Pulled the secret rare on the drop. Definitely going to complete this set. Good MCP points. That's good. Yeah, I mean, that's just, everyone has their plan, right? And stamps are cheap. It's probably, this one's already probably one of the cheapest, like what, 6-piece collectible sets that you could probably get. It's definitely one of the cheaper ones. So, you know, why not? CryptoCade, congrats on getting the secret rare. I mean, that's always seems to be the, if you can win the secret rare and or ultra rare like on drop, that's when you start like, should I start completing sets and all that stuff? I think I've talked about it before. Some people are pretty split on Master Collector Program if it's going to be genuinely worthwhile, or basically do you want to focus on the things that are going to give you just more likely just a ton of money in the future, or MCP points, right? It's like, would you rather stack a bunch of Vaders and Todds, or, you know, in this case, like Todd is only worth 1 MCP point because he's a common, but still Todd. I mean, he's obviously going down in price, but where's Todd at now? Because I think he's getting down there in price. Yeah, he's at 1840 right now. And then Vader, I think, is still holding strong at about 2100 last time I saw. Ooh. He was at 2099. He's already dropped 100 gems. So yeah, I mean, people are flooring a lot of their collectibles. I do think, I've been saying, that's why I've not been buying anything other than playing certain drops. I haven't bought anything. Maybe a comic here and there that's like a comment or something like that, but I haven't been buying anything this last like month because I just knew San Diego Comic-Con is going to be huge. I'm not saying that's the only reason why prices are dipping, but there it goes. All right, it's not an I mean, obviously it's not an all-time low for Vader, but when will we start moving up, in your opinion? When we get, I don't know, like the optimist in me wants to say like, all right, well, once we get like MCP and like once everyone has MTL, and maybe after like Comic-Con, like, okay, like the market might start moving up a bit, or we might start getting like some waves in the market will go up and down over the next like few months. Like the big pump in my honest opinion is gonna probably not be till crypto to NFT, to be quite honest. And as much as some people might believe that like the collector's market is running completely independently from what the current economy is doing, I don't think it's definitely playing a role. Let's say that the current economy is definitely playing a role with how well collectibles are doing. But I do think the biggest thing that shot Veve in the foot was just whoever that person or group of people were that just injected quite literally millions of fake gems into the economy. I do think that really, really hurt the system, the sentiment around not just Veve, but just the market. You know, people were just, when prices got that high, people were like, wait, this is getting kind of crazy. And people that did have lots of crypto experience in the past, unlike me, which I've done a little bit, but not much. A lot of people are like, dude, Are people really going to come on this app and spend 10 grand on a Steamboat Willie? Is that price going to hold forever? Probably not, but like, they knew. I mean, those people kind of understood the trends obviously better than most. So a lot of people started cashing out. The market didn't really recover. Veve was cracking down on bots, artificial gems, all that stuff. So I think people started doubting, like, all right, and then we also found out too that, all right, we're not actually getting 20,000 people a day. It's more likely lots of bots, lots of new accounts, or lots of basically people that are botting, making new accounts. So all that stuff compounding onto like the real world shit, I think was what caused the market to go down. In order for us, I think, to see a massive reversal on Veve, we need a combination of Veve and or the licensors to start advertising Veve on like a very big scale. Not just like, okay, Marvel gives us the occasional tweet, or like, what's it called? Basically, we need more than just like the companies we work with to give us like the occasional tweet. Like they need, like Disney needs to start like advertising in parks, giving utility to the NFTs. Like Veve starts advertising on various platforms. I don't know what that would look like, but we also need probably more than a TV in the corner of a convention in order to like advertise Veve. Probably need celebrities to get on board, start advertising it, or start like mentioning it that way. We need that kind of stuff, as well as, like I said, crypto to NFT. I do think is going to be the big pump. That's going to, at that point, the limited amount of people and money that can come in the app is just uncapped. There are people that are ETH rich. There are people out there that do have 5, 10, 50, 100 plus ETH that are like, they just throw it around like nothing, right? So the bird, Sean Chaikin. Yo, what up, vibes? What's the last thing you bought? Curious to hear your strategy for the next few weeks with the dip. I'm just holding gems and buying low mints if I see them. Yeah, Sean, I already explained it. Maybe you weren't here, but like, I'm not buying anything. I'm waiting fully for San Diego Comic-Con. I do fully expect prices are just going to continue to dip. As much as I hate to say it, I do have kind of a feeling that even with, Master Collector Program, which could cause a nice short-term pump, comic books and showrooms could cause a short-term pump. OUP might help with that kind of stuff, but like, I feel like until we really start getting a massive amount of people joining the app through advertising or other means, and we get crypto to NFT, I just don't see this market doing like a massive reversal anytime soon. Like I said, there's going to be some short-term pumps. There could be some stuff that levels off. Yeah, that's just the way I see it. Nah, these ain't stamps. Yeah, maybe not. I'm stacking dead presidents. Kill all FUD. Well, that's something I brought up earlier too. It does say stamp art. I'm not saying that they're not stamps. And if UPS really wanted to double back and say they want them to be stamps, they could, but it's just something I just don't care to invest in personally. Had trouble with KYC, contacted support. How long should I take for a response? I don't know, dude. I've only contacted support once about, I think it was like my birthday on my account like 6+ months ago. And they got back to me pretty quick. I would say like within a couple hours or so. But with something like KYC, I have no idea if that's a different support team or even if they're trying to figure it out. Not sure. The stamps are FUD, that's for sure. They suck. Just sell it already. Good. I mean, people could do whatever they want. I do think, I mean, it's not arguable that stamps are highly collectible physically, right? And I do think digital counterparts could play a big deal. It's just not my play. Tiny, stinky Cobra Energy, what the hell? Veve Vault is so lucky. I try to quick gate it and I always have to verify with the pictures. So I always have to verify after the 3rd attempt, or like on the 3rd attempt. I usually have to verify or like do the, what's it called? The CAPTCHA or whatever. But I might invest in like an iPad or like an iPhone, because it does seem like he does use an iPad. And I do think the faster processing power of using an iPad as well, it just works faster. Like there's a lot of people that say they can get, 5 on a singular device using an iPad or an iPhone. And for me on my Android, sometimes I'm lucky to get 2, let alone, 3 at times. Not a single stamp collector bought one of these Veve stamps. And that's what I mean. It's it's not so much like, oh, because there's not stamp collectors on Veve, no one's going to collect them, right? It's just there's just not enough people on the app. We just need more people on the app right now. People are flooring hella today. Facts. Yeah, a lot of people flooring really hard. I also asked a question to Twitter earlier. Let's see. Not that many votes, but would have liked to see more. I asked this question earlier today. It said, if you had to pick up one of these collectibles / comic to hold long term, which would it be? 58% Vader, 25% say Todd McFarlane Batman, 13% say SR Fantastic Four #5. That's the first appearance of Doctor Doom. And then Bubbles is in last place at 3.2%. So I did this because he said SMR, and I said that's good too. I picked these since they're all 18 to 2100 gems. So these were all roughly within the same price range. But yeah, some of them have started really pulling away. I almost put in, because you can only have 4 options apparently when you do a tweet with, what do you call it, like multiple choice or whatever, and you can only have up to 4. So I almost put ultra rare Ben Riley, because that one has 616 mints and obviously went up to a pretty high price, but so did Bubbles. I mean, Bubbles only has 600 mints, and some people like the season 1 stuff regardless of what it is. Me personally, I'd rather just focus on what is the most popular, which is in this case like, all right, Vader, Todd, that kind of stuff. Like, I'd rather invest in Vader and Todd than Bubbles any day of the week. I think it takes more users after MTL KYC is fully released, so advertising and promotion would be lovely for a pump. Yeah, and that's the other thing too. It's like even if Veve starts advertising, like even if it gets to hundreds of thousands of people and they legitimately all sign up, even then it's still probably going to take them 2 to 3 months minimum to like, all right, start understanding the idea of NFTs and investments and like how do the licensors play a role in the metaverse and OMI to NFT and what is OMI and the cash out gems. Like there's so many different aspects they have to like wrap their head around to fully grasp, like, because I feel like Veve is one of those things where it's like the more you understand it, like surface level, you're like, okay, it's kind of cool, like digital collectibles, the drops are kind of fun, and it's not, you know, the community's cool, and okay, it's cool, I have a collectible and it seems like people are paying money for it. But until you like really get into it and you dig deep and you start understanding like why the licensors partnered with them and all the old interviews with like Alfred Kahn and all that shit, like it's really hard for people to like put in significant money into this app, right? So and I do think because of the most recent changes with the cash, I mean it's no different than what we used to do, right? It's just time in the market. So it's like, honestly, the majority of the money I have is just from winning drops and selling them, as well as flipping. I would say it's probably half and half. Half the money, the initial money I did get was because I won a huge drop. But with that money, I kept on flipping and basically, you know, almost doubling my money every like month and a half or so. But then once the market started trending downward after December, it just became nearly impossible unless you basically rode off the hype of like a single tweet or just something weird. So fake gems couple with off-app sales wreck the market, huh? I think that's a big part of it, for sure. I do think it did inflate the prices a bit when people were buying stuff for ridiculous prices, and that's because there was just millions of gems, fake gems being injected into the market that weren't backed by the dollars. So and again, you know, not to blame Veve, but Veve was telling us, and it was technically correct terminology, but their terminology of an active user is different than ours, right? Oh, we have X amount of active users, or we get 20 to 30,000 new users. I think they said 20,000 a day or something like that, like new users. I'm like, all right, if that's the case, then like we should be getting, or was it a week or a month? I'm trying to remember what the actual number was, but it was something really high, like 20,000. And I'm like, all right, if that's the case, then like, how are we not at like, you know, what is it, like 3-4 million users already? Like, why aren't we there? Mickey K90, what's up, dude? Yo, what's cooking, bruvski? Not much. So I actually I I bought a couple, not games, during the Steam summer sale. I don't know how much of you guys play computer games or get games on Steam. I bought some more like not expansion packs, but I guess DLC, downloadable content for Warhammer 2, Total War Warhammer 2, which is a fun game. And then I also bought XCOM, which is like a turn-based strategy game. You like have a little team and you can upgrade like their equipment and gear and all that kind of stuff. So I bought XCOM 2. Never played XCOM. I watched videos of it, but I started playing it recently, like 2 hours ago. I played it for the first time. It was a lot of fun, so. And those are the kind of games I almost thought about starting to play either on stream just for fun, because honestly the market is kind of down. I honestly do think after seeing a San Diego Comic-Con, it's kind of not a whole lot to look forward to. Like everyone's gonna have cash out, everyone's gonna have MTL. Maybe the next big thing will be Master Collector Program, but after that it's like there's not a big event happening that I know of between now and like DCon in November. So I might do some streams where I actually play games like Pokemon or XCOM, and I might have some fun where I name the members, you know, people that are members on my channel to some of the characters. So if you have a Pokemon or something like that, name it after them. I've seen that done on other streams. It seems to be fun. I know the viewership's going to be much lower, but I do play video games on occasion, and it would be nice to, like, you know, it'd be kind of cool. Just I know it's going to be one of those streams where I have like 5 to 10 people watching, but at least I'm just having fun. I'm enjoying it. Lots of Veve users buy 5 or more of the same drop. So in reality, there's probably 1/5 of the users everyone thinks there is. What you think? Not necessarily. So based on the metadata and like what people have been seeing is Rich Buddy, that I think there's, you know, by our terms, there's like technically 600,000 accounts with like NFTs in them, or like active accounts. I'm trying to remember what it was, but it's like those are accounts that I think have at least like 1 or 2 NFTs in it. But realistically, it's, you know, it's probably significantly less than that, because a lot of people run multiple accounts and this and that. So I'm not like in my mind, when there's like a 50,000 NFT drop, I'm not thinking there's actually 50,000 people going for the drop. Like it's probably closer to like, you know, probably 20, right? 20,000 people. Like most people get probably the amount of people get is probably 2, right? Some people get 1, 2, 3, 5, whatever it is. So I don't think it's a 1/5 of the users that everyone thinks. If I had to, I couldn't even put a number to it, but I mean, you look at some of the numbers that I've seen on, I forgot her name. I think it's Veve Fox or something like that. She's kind of put some videos together talking about like whales that are on the app, active users, how many users have more than 50 collectibles, how many have more than 100, and all that kind of stuff. I think that's a better determination of like how many people are actually active on the app. And you know, there's other people too. Like my dad started getting on Veve actually months ago when there was bots, and then he stopped because he wasn't winning anything. Then my brother told him like, all right, look, like Veve's done some changes. There's no more bots. Like you should come back. So he played it, and he actually ended up getting, I think, an ultra rare Vader too. So he's, you know, he's holding a big collectible. He still doesn't understand what the hell he's doing or how to list stuff on the market or anything, but he's just having fun playing drops, holding on to stuff. And like later on, I'll probably show him how to sell it, but I don't think he has any reason to sell it or do anything. I think he's kind of he just likes playing the drops. I did everything with KYC, but 5 minutes later said we couldn't verify identity. Yeah, so what I've heard with the identity thing is like if your license doesn't match your, like if your address on your license doesn't match your address that you provide, it's just not going to work, which something I need to do, because I know my license address does not match the address I currently live at, and I want to update it, but then again, I'm probably going to be moving in like 3 to 4 months anyway. Still staying in Arizona, but just not at this current residence. So I Vibes really loving the artwork for Tuesday's drop. The real comics on eBay have good dollar amount. Yeah. Sup, Veve? Sup, Sleepin' Comics? No, Sleepin' Comics was, if you guys didn't know, Sleepin' Comics has got some, he's got some of the comics that are being released on Tuesday. Right, Tuesday? Yeah, Tuesday. And so, cool Venom stuff. I'm still waiting on Amazing Spider-Man 300, which is the first appearance of Venom. I believe that's also a Todd McFarlane cover as well. It has a bunch of 300s on it. So, I believe that's a Todd McFarlane cover. I could be wrong, but What's up, sleeping? Been in crypto a long time, and I see the exact same thing every 3 to 4 years. Bear market, everything is down. People are scared to buy, and they FUD. But guess what? This is when the smart money buys. Exactly. What SR Comics? SR Comics. I don't know. But dude, I was gonna make a video of this, and I still might. And I know Sleeping Comics made a video earlier today. I haven't had the time to watch it yet. But I was gonna make a video just kind of hyping up San Diego Comic-Con, which probably doesn't need more hype, but I'll just do it. If what I've been hearing is right, and if these are going to be Comic-Con exclusives with the CE on it, does that mean that these Comic-Con comics are going to be the only tagged comics on Veve? Is that right? Because like no comics have FA, FE, like that doesn't exist. But if they're a con exclusive, does that mean these are going to be the only comics with the CE tag on it? If Veve does decide to put the convention exclusive tag on it. And if that's the case, if there's only going to be 20 comics or however many they release, a handful of comics with the CE tag on it, I think that's going to be a big deal. And I do think the very first, the same people that get all hyped about, okay, the very first, the very first Veve exclusive cover, which I believe is the first appearance of Watcher. I forgot which comic that is. Whichever first comic comes out in Comic-Con, some people might say, well, this is the first convention exclusive comic that hit Veve. Some people might care, some people might not, but if that's the case, I think it's kind of cool that we're gonna have comics with tags on it. Socks and Rocks selling on OpenSea. If that stuff can fetch multiple ETH, then like why can't any of the Veve shit? It just doesn't. I just don't understand. I watched Randy's video quite a bit, or I think it was the other day, maybe 1 or 2 days ago, talking about like, he's like, dude, if there's rocks on OpenSea, like literally a JPEG of a rock that can go for ETH, then sure enough, the Veve collectibles will. That's why I do think the biggest catalyst on Veve that still has yet to happen is crypto to NFT. Daredevil 1 and Fantastic 413 is an Comic-Con exclusive. Shit. All right, never mind then. Thank you, DQV. Crushing my dreams, crushing my... I still think Comic-Con, I mean, those are both fantastic comics on the app. At least the ultra rare for FF13. Daredevil 1 is obviously a classic. I got some lag with my Android phone. Yeah, I think pretty much everyone that had Android phones had a ton of lag on that that stamp drop for whatever reason. I landed 2 UR Lincolns on drop. Sold the first one for 80. Wow. Did you get like a special mint or something? I had a super late delivery with my stamp. I think it legitimately took almost 2 hours for it to deliver, which is kind of weird because I think all in all, there was only like 10,000 mints. So I kind of figured they would deliver just as fast as comics or something. Like, I mean, even then, like usually around the 2 hour mark, usually if all 30,000 comics are delivered. When the market was up and the other for 75 mint for it was 153. Let's go, dude. Hell yeah, Sirius. Congrats. Yeah, I got the secret rare. Dude, I floored that thing immediately. I saw it. I'm like, cool. I bragged about it in the content creator like Twitter chat that we have, and then I sold it. I like floored it not like legitimately a minute later. Grails are the play. I agree. I'm not a huge master collector person. If I'm spending money, it's just to secure grails or secure things I do think that are going to give me the biggest return gem wise in the future. Until I can see what the hell the points are worth, what kind of benefits we get from Master Collector Program. I mean, they've said a lot of things, but they haven't updated the Master Collector Program in 7 months, like what we're actually going to get. And I bet they're still fine-tuning the points and, you know, what does the drop raffle look like and how many points is it per ticket, or how many free tickets are we going to get if you're MCP Pro? Like, these are all things that they're trying to figure out. So at least as of right now, like I'm not spending any money that's completely dedicated to MCP, right? If I did, I'd probably go out and buy a handful of rare comics that are cheap. But even then, it's not like I'm spending half of my vault money, half of my wallet on just Master Collector point stuff. That's just me personally. Can you see AF15 hitting the same prices as Marvel #1 or higher prices? So if AF15 is 30,000 mints, it will beat Marvel. I think it will easily beat, what's it called? Marvel Comics #1. If it's 30,000 mints. If Veve keeps that same thing of 30,000 mints, I think it'll beat it. If they do 60,000 mints, I think it will be, I think the common and the secret rare will go above Marvel Comics. I know that sounds weird, but I do think the common and the secret rare will be above Marvel Comics 1 price. But like the uncommon through ultra rare, maybe not. It's so hard to tell if they do 60,000 mints, because what I think is going to genuinely happen is I think they're going to do 60,000 mints. They're going to have the covers look exactly like Marvel Comics, where it's going to be the classic cover, then classic cover with like just the title with color, and then the rare is going to be again the same classic cover, but just something else is highlighted. It's going to be exactly like Marvel Comics. That's what I assume is going to happen. I think they know how relevant how relevant AF15 is. Oh, it's a classic piece. It's the most expensive comic. I think other than Action Comics, I think it's like the most expensive comic ever. I don't remember, but because I think they know even if there's 60,000 mints, like I think the common is still going to go north of 80 easily, or 100 potentially. So yeah, I think it'd go up there. It's so hard to tell because actually with this down market, Marvel Comics has the benefit of being just in the market for like 10 months, 9 months at this point. No, wait, because it got introduced August, so it's been in the market for like almost a year at this point, so 11 months. So it does have that benefit. Also, a lot of people bought those comics. I mean, there was people buying Marvel Comics for Marvel Comics 1 commons for like above 300 gems like 4 months ago. So it's probably hard for those people to let go of their comics for literally a third of the price. So I do think a lot of people aren't going to bother selling it, because that's what I'm doing. Like, I'm not selling my Steamboat Willie for fucking 900 gems. Like, I'm just going to wait. Like, I don't need to sell it now. I'd rather just wait. It's low. I already need to sit. Been streaming for 30 minutes and I already need to sit down. What do you think of the Veve logo drop for the Decon attendees? Price prediction? I have no idea. We need to know the mints and as well as some other things, but it's going to be a big deal. I think, I don't know. It's going to really come down to the mints, the rarity, as well as if people are even going to bother flooring them. I mean, if it's under 100 gems, I'm definitely going to pick one up, but I doubt it's going to be that low. C. Rio says, yes, the Spider-Man 300 is a Todd McFarlane comic. I actually have a 9.6 CGC with Stan Lee signed. Holy shit, dude. That's awesome. That's really cool. Hell yeah. So it's funny because I didn't like the other comics that we got, the other series, the one with like Craven, but like all the secret rares had like Doom, like in big block lettering behind. I didn't really like those covers, but I do like the ASM 130. Here, I'll show you guys. This comic. I do like this one a lot. First full appearance of Venom, first issued inked, okay, by Todd McFarlane, Spider-Man's 25th anniversary issue. That's awesome. And so you said you had a 9.6 CGC, man, it's $1,500. I mean, at least as of recorded 1 year ago or whatever. I don't know. Still trying to figure out how to actually like read this. Anytime I try to like look up more info too, like sometimes it asks me to like register an account or something. So how much did this sell for? Price? Are these sold auctions? Fixed price? Doesn't look like any of these have sold. All right, back in 2004, 2007. Where the hell's the price? I don't know. It doesn't really show me the price unless I'm just an idiot and I don't know how to read it. But this is going to be awesome. I really hope we get, aside from AF15, I've said this multiple times, I hope we get FA Punisher, FA Hulk, FA Wolverine, FA Venom would be cool. Trying to think of other superhero that personally I just want to see. Trying to remember like when like Gambit and some of those other X-Men characters came around. Socks and Rocks. How about Fox and Socks? Yeah. Some people started to buy on OpenSea because something that sold for 3 ETH was $1,200 and is now only $3,000. Yeah, definitely the price of ETH has gone down quite a bit. Anyone have guesses on how long or how low the overall market can go before some major catalysts come into play, either timeline or market value? It's legitimately impossible to determine that. Like, oh, when Vader hits 1,500 gems, there's no way it's going to go lower, or in approximately 3.5 months, the market's going to hit its absolute bottom, and then we're going to have a catalyst that hits in, exactly November 15th, and then it's going to, like, I really think we need to, like, Veve / the licensors need to start advertising the NFTs on Veve, and we need crypto to NFT. Like, that's legitimately what we need. And I do think, again, if the licensors want to speed up the process of the cost as well as the, it sucks too. Because do you guys ever? Because I actually watched that. What do you call that whole interview, or not the interview, but the documentary around like the Bored Ape Yacht Club and how they're all, all that kind of subliminal messaging and don't even know if I'm allowed to say the word on YouTube or whatever, but all the stuff associated with that. So it's like, is that a good thing? Because now we're having probably a lot of people leaving that or not even bothering with Bored Ape Yacht Club and spending money in other NFT projects, or has that tainted just the entire scope of NFTs in general, and now people are just abandoning the whole concept of it and maybe just investing in just purely crypto or back to stocks or whatever it is? So not sure, Nikhil. I wish I had an answer for you, dude. If I did, I would tell you, but I, like I said, as optimistic as I want to be, it's hard to see. We just need more people on the app. More people on the app means more money on the app. That's it. Here's the thing with Marvel Comics 1. There are a lot of people who have a buttload of them. It's really going to be hard for the price to go up. Yeah. Same thing with Todd. Like, that's why Todd's not going up, because there's still people that own 5, 10, 15, 80 of them potentially, and there's not enough unique owners of that of the comic, or in the collectible in this case. Amazing Fantasy will be distributed more evenly amongst the people. It should make the price go higher. Yeah, that's what I figured. But also, I mean, the price of Marvel Comics 1 is super high just because a lot of people just bought in at a super high price, and they're just like not going to let it go. So that's me. It's probably the wrong move to do. I mean, I've been stubborn with Steamboat Willie all the way down to under $1,000. Want to see a nice blockchain music protocol like Spotify? Non-fungible, wonderful, and all the community tracks should be on there. I'm sure Veve will eventually have exclusive music. No? Like music NFTs? Yeah, possibly. I'm not sure how that would shape out, and especially, I know the music industry has been very, very cognizant and has been cracking down on just in general content creators, whether it's YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, TikTok. Like, anytime you use their music, they want to get royalties, they want to get money, and like incessantly. So I'm just not sure how that would actually work out. But your local scalper, thank you so much for the $2, dude. Really appreciate that. Getting some gold dust up in here. The Alex G. I need to put Alex G's like face on there just for fun. Like in the actual image. Maybe I'll do that next time if I remember. So yeah, like I think NFT music would be cool. I'm just not sure how the music industry would react, because the music industry has been very very anal, let's just say, about their music and copyright issues and infringements, and like, my videos, that if I use any kind of like semi copyrighted stuff, it gets copyright struck like within a day, and then you just lose so much money. So speaking of Action Comics, would they ever plan to release Action Comics 1? Smarty Pants, I don't know. There's been a lot of talks about it, that what's it called? The terms and conditions? No. Not terms and conditions. I think it is the terms and conditions. Whatever it is, that's on Veve. That one of the IPs that has been added was like, not DC Comics, but like DC... something DC related. And a lot of people think it could be comics as well. So it could be. I don't know. If we have DC Comics, yeah, that's definitely going to be dropping. And I do think Veve, it would be in their best interest. Like, if they're dropping DC Comics, they're going to do like Action Comics 1 or Detective Comics. Which one's the first appearance of Batman? It is... So, May 1939. Detective Comics 27. So, Detective Comics number 27 was the first appearance of Batman. I'll show you guys. So, if we do get DC Comics, I think it's probably in Vive's best interest to hit us with some hard-hitting comics right off the bat, and then, of course, taper off into, you know, some other, like, rando comics and stuff, but... Hit the like button, friends. Thank you so much, Mars Davis. But yeah, why not? I mean, why not release some of the biggest comics that's ever to exist? It's gotten to the point where people are saying AF15 is going to come as a fact, but it's not. It's just speculation. Regardless, we do know Veve is going to drop some big stuff for comic. I think so too. I mean, if they said 5 comics a day, I think it just makes sense that they are gonna drop at least 1 big comic a day. If not, like, all right, maybe let's say out of the 20 comics that gets dropped, maybe 3 or 4 are like pretty big. Like I said, you know, Wolverine, Hulk, you know, Punisher isn't that high. It's not like a crazy grail, or it's not worth a ton, but it's up there. It's a recognizable character. Trying to think of some other like first appearance comics that are pretty big, right? I think that would be pretty cool. So, I mean, even if they don't drop AF15, I mean, we can... I know What's-His-Face said that we're not going to get Journey into Mystery 83 for a while, but, like... I mean, people that have spoken on Vive's behalf or whatever have also been wrong, too. So I think saving gems is the smart play, especially as cashout rolls out on top of that. Yeah, I agree. My prediction on AF15, day 1, 150 common... Oh, prediction, sorry. 150 common, 180 uncommon, 500 rare, 1200 ultra rare, and 3k secret rare. That's my thoughts. Yeah. I mean, to be quite honest, and you know, I'm not trying to fight it at all or anything like that, but like when I saw Star Wars #1, the secret rare going up to 3k, I'm like, that is way too high. I've talked about it before, but I was like, I thought that comic was going to hit 900 max, to be quite honest. And I was like, wow, I was wrong. Like, Star Wars, you know, that Star Wars comic hitting 3k was just nuts. But like, look at it now. Secret Rare is at 700. Because right when it hits, because I don't think anyone expected to run it. Like, when I saw it go the same price as Daredevil #1 SR, I'm like, there's something weird going on here. And on top of that, you know, it's like this thing has almost 2,000 mints, while the Daredevil I think has 600, 500 or 600. And I was just like, wait, something that has 3 or 4 times the amount of mints and is the same price? I don't know. I'm not saying this is a bad comic, but I think it going to $3 grand immediately was a bit fast. It could definitely hit that price again, just with time, and probably with some crypto to NFT, right? There it is. Yeah, that's it. I mean, it also hit $3 grand very, very briefly. So, yeah, now it's down to basically 650. But I think those are right. I mean, we have legitimately no idea until we see the mint numbers on comics, and we also need to figure out too if the rare and ultra rare would be like Veve exclusive covers. I do think that plays a role too. Sup Vibes, sold off 200 of my comics the last couple weeks, and now I have 3k gems, depending on picking up my second Todd or second UR Vader. What do you think? Mendez flips, honestly, I would just wait. Especially if it's your second one. I would just wait, dude. I legitimately think there is a time where you can maybe get them for cheap with just the way the market is trending. I mean, if you're holding long term, buying it now to be safe, that's, you know, no issue. But I think if you wait long enough, you might be able to pick up both for 3k. I think you could probably pick up both if you wait long enough, Mendez. Because I mean, like, look at him now. Like, Todd, Vader's at 1800 and Todd was, or no, Vader's at 1900. Collectibles. Dark. Vader's at 1950. And Todd, we just looked at earlier, was at 1800. So, with just the way the market is currently trending, with MTL happening, and with San Diego Comic-Con, if I'm going to be making any moves, I think I'm going to buy stuff during Comic-Con. That's just me. I would go with second Vader. It has more detail, animated, and will easily outrun Todd in the long run. Yeah, I think this will be the perfect example long term if people value Veve, community generated Veve value, right? I mean, it's you can't argue that, okay, the first NFT on the app and all that stuff is important, but like, will that outweigh popularity? Which Vader, easily the most popular villain to ever exist. You know, that and Joker, which I've said before, but I think that will be like the end all be all of like, all right, what wins? Scarcity / community made value, or just straight up popularity, right? And Vader does have a small benefit, or has a small advantage with being less mints, right? Because Todd has 7,500. Oops, while Vader has, yeah, just shy of 6,000. So not that big of a difference. Yeah. Dr. Profit owns 300 waltz. Not great for the collectible. Potentially. I mean, if he plans on holding them. I mean, I haven't seen him floor any of them anytime recently. I mean, I also haven't been looking at Walt that closely, so. Yeah, I mean, ideally, you know, you would like to have your collectible have as many unique owners as possible. That's why I think things like Todd is going to take a while to go up in price, or even if Dr. Profit starts flooring Walt, it's going to take a while for Walt to go up in price, because every time there's a new shiny thing, they're just going to floor one of their Todds or Walts. And if I had to just venture to guess, I'm literally just pulling this number out of my ass, but if like Todd might have like 2,000 unique owners, you know, which means, all right, you have some people with 1 or 2, but you have a lot of people with 5, 10, maybe even more that are just flooring them when they need to. So until we get a little bit closer to like maybe 3,500 or like 4,000 unique owners, that's when we're going to start seeing like the price go up, because people only have 1. I mean, you're much less inclined to sell your only collectible when you just have 1, right? Versus 2. Nikhil, I think the concept of NFTs is important. With Bored Apes, it's on the account of founding directors. People may not realize that our NFTs in the first place basically owned digital art. Yeah, and I think the biggest, because I actually talked to my uncles recently about Veve and NFTs, and you know, they just kind of wanted to just catch up with what I'm doing with, you know, my life. And so I kind of briefly explained to them what I've been doing with this, and the way I explained it, I didn't get too in depth with NFTs or blockchain or anything like that. I'm like, I just told them like, look, I'm doing digital collectibles. You know, there's people out there that collect Pokemon cards, comics, Michael Jordan's underwear with like a giant skid mark on it. Like, people pay money for that stuff, you know, shoes, whatever it is. People pay money and they like it. And I'm like, look, so that the main benefit for these digital collectibles for these big companies, and why they're incentivized to make more of them or incentivized to keep doing this, is because they keep getting paid with these collectibles. I think it's perfect that DC, Marvel, Disney, Star Wars, they can actually re-release old collectibles that they've already done, you know, 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 years ago, and get paid continually, because now we're trading amongst ourselves. And so those companies are getting paid, right? Like Marvel, like like I said, what the hell is that going to do? It's unlikely that they're going to like remint the same. I mean, I take that back. I was like, oh, remint the same cards or whatever. But essentially, whenever, you know, Marvel Comics makes comics, they only get money the first point of sale when they sell it to the comic book shop, right? But with NFTs or digital collectibles, they keep getting that money over and over and over again. And because it's a limited run, usually that increases the value because it makes them more scarce and people trade them more often. And it costs basically no overhead for any of these companies. They don't have to contact a manufacturer. They don't have to contact the printing company or you know, the distributor, as well as the shipping. And they don't have to handle all that stuff. Like, all they have to do is come up with a 3D digital asset that people will like, maybe come up with a mint number, and like, that's it. And they just keep getting money for the life of the NFT, as long as it exists and as long as people are still trading it. Now, if they want that price to go up, all they have to do is add a little bit of utility to it. Hey, if you have this, you get the subscription free for a month, or you get half off of this, or you get invited to our exclusive party for members during this event or Comic-Con or whatever it is. So So they're like, okay, that makes sense. So like these companies want to make digital collectibles because they can keep getting paid. They can re-release old collectibles or assets or, you know, toys or comics, whatever it is that they've done before that they might have either been afraid to do or might not get a lot of money out of. And they can keep getting paid. I'm like, yeah, pretty much. I mean, that's just, you know, the whole blockchain thing. All it does is just add legitimacy to like, okay, I own this. I still don't understand the whole aspect of blockchain, but it's just essentially to point you in the direction of like, all right, I do have ownership of this. There is data to back it up that I own it, and here's all the previous owners and all that stuff. Like that stuff is like cool. Don't get me wrong, but it's like at the end of the day, like these companies are gonna want digital collectibles because it costs them like nothing to do, and they can like re-release old collectibles and still get money like reoccurringly. As long as there's a transaction, Marvel's getting paid, Disney's getting paid. As long as there's a transaction on the market, they don't care. And then when they add renting on top of that, there's going to be more rental fees or just more fees that us and the licensor can get. And honestly, for whatever reason, God forbid, which I think Veve has said that they're not going to do, but if for whatever reason they do it, I really hope they follow the same route that Hero does, which is if they add a, I should probably just make this full screen. If they do add, if for whatever reason let's say they reprint Marvel Comics #1, what they could just do is have Marvel Comics #1 just have no letters or just maybe an A next to the mint numbers. In that second run of Marvel Comics, it says B, right? It says B or whatever it is. So people still can differentiate. Okay, this is Marvel Comics 1, the first release. Still the most expensive, still the best one to own. But then these B series of comics are going to run a little bit less, you know, obviously because they're not as, I don't want to say not as important, but yeah, in a sense, like, yeah, like they're part of that second run. It's almost like second edition, right? Basically, for the most part. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think it needs to happen. But if for whatever reason Veve does it, or if Marvel agrees to, or whatever it is, and they re-release comics that we already have, I think there should be some sort of differentiator, so there's still additional value to the originals. What up, Vibes? Is the web app available now to all the users, or only invitees for KYC have login 2FA issue? So Van, I've had a lot of people have this issue. I contacted support. They kind of said, yeah, people are having this issue. We're looking for, you know, please give us your information about certain things. What I did was I logged out, because everyone should have access to the web app. Like any account should be able to log into the web app. I still don't have KYC yet, but when I tried to log in, I was able to log in for a day, then it like locked me out. So what a lot of people have done, which is log out of your phone. I also did a password reset through the web app. So I opened up the web, so I logged out on my phone, reset my password on the web app, and I did everything on my computer. So I did open the email, did all this stuff. I followed all the instructions to reset my password. Then when I did that, I was able to log in. So some people said you don't have to do that. Some people found other workarounds. That's just what worked for me. So, you know, log out on your phone, reset your password through the web app. And then when you reset it, log in again through the web app to make sure it works, and it should. Bob sales this time next year. Stupid idea. I always add gems. I'm always at 0. I don't see what the issue is. You being able to add gems when you like. I think the main issue, Bob Sales, which is why I imagine Veve's doing it, is just to help prevent fraud, or if people are legitimately using stolen gems. Like, it might take Veve some time to detect it. And if they do that, if people just add 10,000 gems in one go, or 1,000 gems or whatever it is, and like instantly cash out, because I mean, you know, cash out's instant, right? And people instantly cash out to Bitcoin or Ethereum or USDT. I don't know. I do think that is one layer of defense against it, so people aren't just using stolen credit cards, buying gems, and then instantly cashing out to whatever. I'm sure there's probably a cooldown period they can enable to, like, all right, if you're a new account, or if you just added gems recently, maybe you have to wait like a few days, whatever it is. I don't know. I have a feeling it's a combination of insurance reasons as well as anti-fraud reasons and stuff, which is why just preloading hundreds of gems, thousands of gems is probably, it's obviously what initially led to the millions of fake gems being injected into the market and just screwing everything over. So does it suck? Yeah, but I mean, that's where we all started, right? That's where I started. Was I spent some money initially to put money into the app. So I bought 50 gems, played a handful of drops. You get a couple lucky drops, then the next thing you know, you have a few hundred gems or a couple thousand gems because you want a ultra rare Vader or whatever it is. And then, okay, wow, I just turned 100 gems, 200 gems into 1,000. Like, that's kind of where we all started, right? For the most part. Unless you're one of those whales that like, okay, I put in 10 grand, 20 grand, like consistently, or thousands of dollars consistently, like, sure. But I think there's very few people on this app that bought gems 1-to-1 and like immediately bought a wallet for like 20 grand. Like, it's unlikely. I think Todd will go down to 850 because so many have 10 to 50 multiples are being held by OGs. Possibly. We'll see. Or they just won't floor them. I mean, if they really wanted to, they could just stop flooring them, right? I just don't know. Bro, the market is worse than ever right now. Yes, sir. Ayo, 53 watching and 18 likes. Let's get those likes up, people. Thank you so much, Skeet. Miss Skeet. Thank you so much, dude. I appreciate that. I haven't been dude, I used to hang out in the Veve Discord like all the time. I used to shoot the shit in like the market chat, and people would ask me questions and have all kinds of fun in there. I just been busy lately to deal with Discord, and I've even entertained the idea of making my own Discord group, but it was just like, especially since you can't do off-app transfers and stuff like that. I thought about doing that, and I'm like, well, now that's just against terms of service, and that's just something I don't want to mess with. So I guess we could just do like random market talk, or if people want to show off their recent purchases or sales, like I think that'd be kind of fun too. I do want to do something like that at some point, but I'm doing my best to help, bringing in all my NFL Fantasy League buddies. They have deep pockets. Awesome, dude. Hell yeah. Dude, that's the main appeal. The way I explained it, I think is going to make the most sense to people. Don't bother trying to explain NFTs and this and that. It's like, okay, look, digital collectibles. Companies like Marvel and Disney and Star Wars and all those people, they want to do digital collectibles because it costs them no money to do. They keep getting money for free. And they want these collectibles to keep going up in price so they can get more money through fees and through rentals and stuff. And they want to add utility to it, so they actually have people to get people a reason to actually start trading them, renting them, buying them, all that stuff. So I think that's probably the cheap and easy way I would explain it to people. And the collecting part's cool too. Like eventually, like I can almost guarantee probably 90% of the people that start on Veve did it as an investment. I'm gonna flip, I'm gonna buy this, flip, and then cash out some money here and there, or fully cash out until eventually you're like, all right, I kind of like this comic, or I like this collectible, or this is cool, or they finally introduce that IP you like, whether it's Jurassic Park or Star Wars or whatever it is, and you're like, all right, actually, I kind of want to keep this long term, and whatever it is, or you get that one SR comic that has a super cool mint and a cool cover, and you're like, all right, okay, maybe I'll keep this long term. I think a lot of people start off as investors and became collectors, but at the end of the day, I think most collectors are investors. It's just a fun way to invest. Like, instead of buying a bunch of stock of some no-namer corporation out in the Middle East that does oil and stuff, it's like, I'd rather just invest in Spider-Man or Batman. Like, those are cool. I can talk about it. I could show off my investments to other people. I mean, that's more fun than investing money in some like random hedge fund or something like that, and you just don't know what your money's even going or doing. I don't know. Creedson, I love the live auction, but it encourages mass undercutters same day, flippers, and panic selling. The eBay style auction is better. People don't worry about outbidding each other. Yeah, like the whole current bid system is just broken. I think the main issue Veve is having, because honestly, I've already introduced this idea at least 3 or 4 times before. I'm going to be going on Veve Bros stream tomorrow at noon Pacific time to show it off. But I mean, I'll give you guys a very quick breakdown of what it looks like. I know you guys have all seen this already, but for those of you that haven't, this is the idea that I had for basically pseudo auctions in a way. Pix, Veve marketing. Fun under the sun. Thank you so much, dude. Always great vibes with Veve vibes. Smash that like button. Thank you so much. So this is something I straight up ripped off, or at least like the picture off EVE Online, which is another game that I play. But this is honestly how I think the raffle, we should be done with auctions. I mean, I think auctions are fine. I think the main issue with Veve is that they don't have a system to hold gems. So I think it would be cool if every account had a partnered account that would hold gems. So if you do put up an auction, you actually have to put in 50 gems. If you're going to bid 50 gems, you have to put in 50 gems. And then if someone outbids you, you get those 50 gems back. So I do think Veve, if they're able to, put a parent wallet paired with each account, and like that, any gems that you put up for auction or for these other systems that I'm going to show here, like it should basically just deposit the money in there, and then if so you get outbid or if the auction ends or whatever it is, you get that money back. I mean, I've showed this 20 times before, but Veve should really adopt a system like this where you can actually raffle off collectibles to people. And I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna show this tomorrow on Veve Bros stream tomorrow. But they really like this idea where essentially, instead of trying to sell a partner statue for 9,000 gems, why don't you put it up for, and it's, I do think it should cost a certain amount of MCP points to put up a raffle like this, so people don't just troll and all that stuff with people trolling people's tickets and all that. So if you're gonna put up a raffle like this, let's just say the cost of the MCP points is dependent on how many total gems you're gonna get out of it. Maybe, I don't know. The raffles last for 3 days. People can buy tickets, and it says on the left side how many people bought tickets. So it says Dr. Profit bought 233 tickets. Tommy, you know, Skeet bought 7 tickets. Face20 bought 4 tickets. And it shows you, instead of trying to get one person with 9,000 gems to buy your partner statue, now you just need to find someone or 1,000 tickets for 9 gems each. And because you're basically crowdsourcing the sale of your NFT, now you can actually overprice it, because some people might not care if it's 9 gems, 10 gems, 11 gems. Each time that ticket price of each time each ticket price goes up 1 gem, you're getting an extra 1,000 gems. So I think this actually raises the price of some floors, because if people are selling their partner statues with this raffle system for 10,000, 11,000 gems, even though the floor is 9, all the people that are selling their partner statue for 9, they could just, they're like, oh, that guy just sold his partners for 11. I'm going to delist mine that's at 9, and I'm going to put it up for raffle. And then it gets sold. People buying tickets. People are buying the tickets, and it gets randomly chosen, of course, who gets it. Of course, you can buy multiple tickets. There's a little button here. It'll just auto-generate whatever tickets you bought. Or you can maybe find a lucky combination if you're kind of, not skeptical, but what's it called? Whatever it is. But I do like this system a lot, where it's like, the only reason why this system doesn't exist is because Veve doesn't have a system in place where they can, because right now gems can only exist in wallets. That's the only place they can exist in. So that's why the current auction system is just dumb. It's like, you can legitimately just have someone just troll your, like, I'm surprised that any auctions get done, because people could just troll it. Or to be honest, if someone really wanted to, if they put up an auction and it's about to go for less money than they wanted, just make a new account, bid on your own auction for 9,999 gems, and you get locked. Even though that account gets locked out, at least you're not selling an NFT for less than you wanted, and you get your NFT back. Yeah, that account is like trade banned for or whatever for 3 days, but you can just make another account. Like, who cares? Like, there's so many just silly workarounds to it that, you know, it's like just make a new account, bid on your own auction for 9 million gems that you're never going to pay, and save yourself from selling your NFT accidentally for too cheap. So this system, I just don't see any reason why it shouldn't exist. I mean, I think it's just a software issue why it's not, hasn't been implemented, but and it's also community based, right? If there's no Veve drops for a week or a few days, this is also community driven, right? Like, oh my god, someone just put up a partner statue on raffle, someone just put up a Todd, someone just put up a Donnie. Could you imagine someone putting up a Donnie for raffle? And how much, you know, there's, you know, 10, there's 3 different things. You can either put it up for 10 tickets, 100 tickets, or 1,000 tickets. And if someone put up a Donnie for 1,000 tickets, I don't know how much is a Donnie right now? Is it 2 ends? So 50,000, so 57,000 gems. I mean, I don't think anyone's paying that. But imagine if someone put up a Donnie for 1,000 gems for 1,000 tickets. So that means each ticket would be 60 gems. Do you think there would be some people out there that would spend 60 gems on a ticket to potentially win a Donnie? Maybe 2 tickets, maybe 10 tickets, just at a chance to possibly win a Donnie? I think so. And I do think each ticket should be tied to a master collector point. So maybe one master collector point if there's like a master collector point store that you can buy accessories and this and that, but you buy a ticket with master collector points, you know, whether it's 1 point per ticket or whatever it is. And then in order to get in these raffles, you have to pay 20 gems as well as a ticket. And if the raffle doesn't fill out, like if people don't buy enough tickets to complete the raffle, everyone gets their tickets back, everyone gets their gems back. The person that put up the raffle loses their MCP points, but they get their collectible back. So people that are putting up these raffles are incentivized to put it up, you know, at a decent price. You can't just overvalue it ridiculously or anything like that. We'll see. I'm not exactly sure how this would play out, but I like this system. But only problem is there are sports guys, not comic guys, and Disney guys. So who knows? Maybe they'll find childhood memories on Veve. Yeah, that's the best way to go about it. And I think that's how a lot of people are. I mean, you could probably ask Dr. Profit or a lot of those guys. Probably some of those guys probably with their current professions, there might not be nerd guys, but I don't know. Part of me does like the fact that there's like Veve's kind of for the nerds, right? I like sports. I don't mind it. But I do think like bringing in sports memorabilia or like sporting teams or cards or digital collectibles that are about sports will bring in a lot of, I don't know, sports people. In fact, got a draft in 20 minutes. Later, Veve fam, see ya. Discord is a grind for sure, but we love it. Bought me another MC1 SR today. Nice. Deals to be had out in the market, so eyes are all over the show. Yes, sir. I dig it. Dude, me and so many people are like, dude, if only I sold my Steamboat Willie or I sold my White Todd or whatever in like January, December, right? But none of us saw this coming. Sup vibes, I agree. I do stocks, but recently I'm contemplating whether I should invest more into Veve or OMI. A lot of people talk about OMI too. I mean, OMI could hit possibly 3 zeros, and at that point, it's like, all right, should I start buying OMI or collectibles or gems? It's kind of interesting how all that stuff is playing out, you know. And at a certain point, it's like, all right, if you want OMI, why not just buy the collectibles? Because the second they announce, I think OMI to NFT or crypto to NFT, I think both OMI and the NFTs are both going to go up in price. It's just a matter of like, buy how much, right? And it's like, if you want OMI, you can also just buy collectibles and just sell it for OMI too, right? Like if you really legitimately just wanted 1 million OMI, it's like, all right, then just buy a Vader and just sell it when it hits like 5K and then just get a bunch of OMI that way. Like that's another way to get OMI. It's like, been building my Odin Mighty collection. So far, 4 with Lomans, holding long-term investment. I do think still Odin is by far and away the best looking Marvel Mighty on the app. Come on, help me out here. Odin, there it is. I still think Odin is by far and away the best looking Mighty. Just I mean, they all have these weird horse hoof looking things, but just the trident that he has, the horned helm, the reflective metallic thing, the eye patch, his face, like the cape blowing in the wind. It just looks awesome. I think it's by far and away the best looking one. What percentage of your funds would you allocate to Veve versus OMI? Well, right now it's 100-0. I don't have any OMI right now. And luckily it's probably because I'm just lazy. I just didn't, like, I know how to get OMI, but I just been lazy about getting it. And so it's worked out to my advantage. So, and yeah. How much would you do? That entirely depends up to you. I don't think you can go wrong with either, because like I said earlier, like even if you're bullish on OMI, you could still just buy Veve collectibles, and then once crypto to NFT happens, just sell your NFTs for OMI. Just do it that way too. Like, I'm a huge nerd in DC, Marvel, anime, etc. It turned into my niche for investing. Okay, yeah, I dig that. If only Veve had some anime, right? If only. Double Quill, there would be some issues with the raffle system in states that heavily regulate online gambling, aka we don't even have DraftKings in our state. What state is that? Let me look that up. You know, when you bring it up that way, it's probably true, but I mean, it's not gems, right? And I'll be honest, there is a game called EVE Online that I play. It's an MMO. It's a space game that's been around for like 20 years. They have this exact system in the game. You can buy, so you can spend real life money to buy Plex, which is the in-game currency. It's kind of like WoW tokens or like RuneScape, like membership tokens or whatever. And then you can sell that for in-game currency, so gold, or in EVE Online, it's called ISK, but let's just call it gold for simplicity's sake. And then with that gold, you can then bid on, or basically do these raffle systems with, you could do these raffle systems with, what's it called? Yeah, well, like with the gold. So I don't know if this is, I'm sure it might be a loophole because it's gems, not real life money. But then again, it's a 1-to-1 ratio. And I don't know. It would be a bit weird, but because that's what I was looking up. Is which states don't allow online gambling? Online gambling in the United States, gambling is legal in some form or another in 48 states across the country. The two holdouts that ban it entirely are Utah and Hawaii. Okay. I mean, that's just whatever this is in 2021, but I'm not entirely sure. Not sure if that includes casinos or whatever. Well, that's interesting. I want to buy a lot of OMI, but I worry about Disney taking a different direction with their NFTs and leaving Veve on and would be almost worthless if they lost Disney. I don't know that necessarily. I do think it would be a big mistake on Veve's end if they completely abandoned the original Disney owners of the collectibles. I do think if they're going to do their own metaverse or do their own thing, I do think they would add interoperability so that what they would do, I imagine, is if they made a Disney metaverse and they said, okay, all of you people on Veve, if you have a Disney NFT, you can transfer your NFT to our platform. So you can sell it to our people, blah, blah. And here's the benefit of doing it. You can get the Disney Prime NFT membership. Whatever the hell that does or whatever the benefit is, they're going to incentivize you to be on their platform because they want to, because they know people are going to talk and say, hey, cool, you got all this Disney stuff, but like technically the first Walt, the first Mickey, the first this, and all that stuff, all the first NFTs were technically on this other platform first. And I do think that will innately add some value to it. So not entirely sure. And who knows? I mean, it could actually make the price go up too, because if Disney's done making NFTs on Veve, then there's just no more Disney NFTs. So the ones that already currently exist are the only ones that do exist. So I'm not sure if that would add more value to it because we're just done or not. Not entirely sure. We would have to see. Metacognition 88. So we'll have to see about that. I'm not too sure. But what I think is most likely, I don't know why I'm up here on like the top middle of the page still. But I think what's most likely going to happen if the Veve, or I should say Disney, does take a different direction is that they will have an incentive for people that do have their Veve NFTs on Veve to like come over to, and I mean, this shit's probably like 5 years minimum away. Like if Disney does their own thing, or if like interoperability, all this stuff, like I feel like that stuff would take a while. After San Diego Comic-Con weekend, I'm going to start investing into OMI. I'm satisfied with my collection now. All right. Hell yeah, CD streams. It's great because I do think, I mean, some people are thinking that OMI could hit 000, which could be a big deal. Nevada, if it smells like competition, they nix it. Really? Nevada? No lotto, no sports outside of regulated casinos, no cards outside of the regulated casinos, etc., etc. Huh. Yeah, that would be interesting. I mean, like in Nevada, like you said, it's like, unless, basically, if it's kind of I really want Dark Horse Comics, Aliens. Yeah, that would be sick. I think Dark Horse also has Predator, Aliens. They also did books on EVE Online and a bunch of other characters. I think they also did Hellboy too, right? I think Hellboy is... I think Hellboy's also in Dark Horse Comics. Oh yeah, I think it is. Yeah, so Hellboy's also, I mean, cool character, I believe. So cool. So I was gonna make a video about this, but I figured I would just do it on stream. I'd rather do it this way, but just vibe check on the market. Basically, all we're gonna do is just look at the top losers and gainers of the last hour or so. Well, these are the top losers of the hour. UCI Italy Blue Beta has gone down. Dude, this thing has been, I feel like this thing's been dumpstering pretty hard. The Italy posters and stuff. How much was this going for? It's at one point. Yeah, I mean, this thing is down to 85 and it used to be, dude, sometimes this chart gives me appendicitis. There it goes. Look at those listings. 70, which, I mean, I know these are very few and far between, but so went down to 85, all-time high is 300. Not that long ago. I mean, this was still less than a month ago. Whiteouts, another poster. Oof. Great School Guernica. Under 50 right now. No Time to Die Triumph. Dude, I remember when people were hyped buying this for under like 150. I could have sworn this thing like went up to like, did this thing go up to like 200 at one point? No, I guess not. Oh, wait, maybe we should go back further than 3 months because this is actually February. Okay, so yeah, we need to go further back than that. Yep. Yeah, this was still during the whole January hype. This is when everyone was still thinking NFTs were going to the moon, which they will. Just we didn't realize things were gonna get this low. Yeah, people were stoked to like buy this under 200, which is kind of funny. Ben Reilly Beyond Spider-Man. I do think it's definitely underrated. It was actually going to be one of the collectibles I asked about in the, oh, I closed it already, in that Twitter, but I put Bubbles instead because I know some people like Bubbles. Yeah, I think Ben Reilly's underrated. It's down to 1650 right now. Zombie Hunter Captain America, Dragon Girl, Abe Lincoln stamp is down. Ghost Bear Red. But I'm still wondering how the hell these Ghost Bears are like actually retaining their value. I guess there's only 888, so that's I guess that's why there's hardly any owners. Yeah, 370 370 gems. I cannot believe that thing was selling for that high. Or even higher, dude. This thing was even higher. Holy moly, dude, was this? Do not tell me Ghost Bear Red was actually selling for 500 gems at one point. Holy moly, dude. Still not as low as, still hasn't been cut in price as much as Disney NFTs though. But some of the Disney NFTs, especially Steamboat Willie, I mean, those things are legitimately down over 90% from their all-time highs. Cosmic Cthulhu, Safin's Lair, Gray Hairs, Thor. Okay. Let's go ahead and take a look at the top gainers. Let's get some positivity out of here. What's actually going up in value? Okay, Snow Globe, Secret Rare, up to 300. Deadpool went up $1.50. Hell yeah. Ecto 1 Static. I guess it going below like 35 was just too cheap. Starlight Orb going for 8. Little Friends Gold, 13 hundo. Rewind Collective Heart. This is actually going below box price now. I remember when this thing went up to 100 or like 110 very briefly. Now it's back down to here. Mr. Knight, Let's Begin. Dude, I think I bought one of these for 70 And I thought, I'm like, dude, there's no way this goes below box, but apparently no one cares about this Mickey. Cat Trooper color, Penguin. I think Penguin is still cheaper than Joker. We'll have to look up Joker after this. Yeah, we'll look at, actually, let's look it up now. So this is going for what, 280? 250. What the hell am I typing? Joker. Not Dick Sprang. We want Jim Lee. It's not that much more. Dude, speaking of undervalued NFTs, dude, Joker, I think he's, dude, that's a big villain. Popularity wise, he's up there with Vader, and arguably higher than Vader when it comes to popularity. Just maybe not pop, but just how well known he is as a villain. And the fact that he's going for 250 and there's 7,500 mints, and there's like, how many Batmans are there? I swear there's got to be like 150,000 Batmans total, like total just Batmans on the app right by now. There's just so many Batmans on the app. Fortunately, right now, crypto is asset and NFTs are digital property, but I'm holding my breath to see if they change it. Okay. Yeah, CD Streams, I saw your thing about Ben Riley. Austin, Vibes, if you get a chance, look into Stickman Toys NFTs. Saw a post on the Bose Instagram. They're collabing with Warner Music, a ton of utility, and it's free. 5,000 total mints, releases this month. Okay, I'll check that out. Yeah, thanks for the heads up on that. I'll actually make a note on it here on a notepad. What's it called? Just Stick NFTs. Stickman Toys. Cool. Yeah, I'll check it out. It's honestly, it's probably gonna be one of those projects where like, if I can get one, cool. If not, then like, if I can get one, I'll probably like get in the thing and then just like not touch it for a long time. I don't know. Even me, like I'm in bat cows and I can like not even keep up with it. Is it better to stack multiple secret rares rather than going to complete sets for the points? Rafael Martinez, that is a question entirely up to you. Me personally, I'm hesitant to start chasing points because I have no idea how much points are worth, what 10 points can even get me. What could 10 points get you, right? Is it really worth, let's say, an extra raffle ticket, not raffle ticket, but in this case, an extra, what's it called? God, not raffle ticket, but the Master Collector, the little side, God, dude, I'm forgetting the freaking term. Lottery? No. Let me look this up. Master Collector Program. What the hell is that called? I'm also going to close out of all these. It is called Drop Raffle. The Drop Raffle system. Free drop raffle tickets per month. So that's the other thing too. It's like, how many MCP points is a drop raffle ticket? If it's 10 points for a drop raffle ticket, all right, it might be worth spending some money, getting some extra MCP points. But if it's like 100 points per ticket, what are you gonna have to do? In order to get an extra 100 points, if you like wanted an extra drop raffle ticket, you would have to buy you would have to buy 5 rare comics to get one more drop raffle ticket every 10 days, something like that, which doesn't seem worth it in my opinion. It's like, oh yeah, go out, buy $80 worth of rare comics to get an extra drop raffle ticket, which just doesn't seem worth it to me. I don't know. Like, I really want to see the granular numbers of the Master Collector program to see how much I'm willing to put into the Master Collector program. Right now, I'm just buying whatever I think is going to pay me out the most, or whatever I think is going to do the best, like, short slash long term. Some of my vault is long term, some of it is short term. That's kind of how I have it set up. So it's, I mean, you're putting points to something that you have no idea how much stuff is even gonna cost, right? I'm not sure how else to like explain it. So for me, if things are cheap or if things are priced decently well, all those people that have been collecting points, great, good for you. But if it's not points, if everything is like super expensive point wise, then it's like, well, I'm just better off just collecting grails. I don't know. Do you think Veve has DC Comics? I have no idea if under the sun. I would like to think so, but it just doesn't seem that way. I do think the renegotiation of the 8.5% is promising. That, and plus like DC already knows, like Veve's been selling Marvel Comics on Veve and it's been doing extremely well. So it wouldn't surprise me, but it's honestly really hard to tell. I would like to think yes, but. The young CEO, are you holding or selling to cash out? I don't even have enough gems to cash out, to be quite honest. I'm holding my Vader, my Steamboat Willie, my, you know, ultra rare, secret rare, this and that, like secret rare comics. I don't have that many. I only have like 2 or 3, but no, not cashing out. Don't really care to. Don't need to, I should say. Raffle. Yeah, raffle. It was the, sorry, it was the drop raffle. Yeah, it's called drop raffle, I guess. I guess it is a raffle. And so that's the other thing too. It's like, for this whole drop raffle thing, like how is, I guess it's because it technically costs no points. I don't know, I guess Veve could do a hybrid system of like, I don't know. Any idea on how to pay taxes after you cash out of Veve? I have no idea, dude. I'm not a tax professional or anything like that. I would imagine, and don't take this as financial advice, it obviously is just, the only thing they care about is how much money you take out, right? If you put in X amount of money, I think you can only get taxed on the difference of the money you put in versus what you take out. So if you put in $3,000, but let's say you only cash out 1,000, I don't think you can get taxed on that. Not entirely sure, but if you took out 4,000, you get taxed on the 1,000 difference. So I'm not sure how you would trace all that or how you would bookkeep all that stuff. I mean, all the talk of like, you have to keep track of every transaction of every NFT that you've ever done, bought, sold, traded, all that stuff. Not entirely sure about that, because all that matters at the end of the day is like, all right, is it worth this much? Cool. Is that value actually realized when you cash out? That's all that matters. You know, and even if you do, you know, cash out to say crypto or whatever, like until that crypto turns into actual cash in your bank account, it's not doing anything for you, right? I mean, you can buy other stuff. I mean, you could just keep buying stuff, but until you get cash for it, it's not doing much for you. So that's how I would imagine it. I could be completely wrong, but. And it's legitimately different between not only states, but also countries and all that stuff. So I wouldn't even know where to begin with the tax stuff, to be quite honest. Double Quill used 200 gems to get an uncommon FA Spider-Man, common Spider-Man, and a Spider-Man number 50 comic. I don't mind holding on to things to improve. To me, it's a good deal. Dude, that's a fantastic deal. Those are all awesome. And I do like that uncommon Spider-Man a bit more. The one where he's hanging upside down. I do like that one a lot. Then a common zombie Spider-Man and the number 50, which is first appearance of Kingpin. That's a fantastic one too. So you got, dude, I remember when people were trading this for almost 300 gems at one point. I was one of those guys that was trading it for that much. And then here's the uncommon. Sick. And then the comic. I think if I just put 50, will it show up? Yeah, there we go. You said you got the common, right? Yep. It's a very cool cover. It's a pretty iconic comic. First appearance of Kingpin. It's a very good one. Double Quill, that's a fantastic 200 gem purchase. That's a very good one. I like that. All Spider-Man too. I think someone's a fan. Maybe, maybe not. No problem vibes. I've been talking to some of the mods on their Discord. Seems like if you're able to get one of the Bose rare NFTs, you get a free pair of IRL one-of-one speaker or Bose headphones as well. IRL one-of-one speaker Bose headphones? That's cool. Like the actual speakers themselves are all like unique, like the physical versions. That's cool. Yeah, I mean, I'll definitely look into it. Sounds really cool. Rafael Martinez, thank you. I'm just trying to keep up with the whales by buying secret rares, but I know they dwindle the more secret rares you own, so I'm stuck trying to figure out which is better to do. It's all, I would say, I mean, honestly, all the comics have some, they all show some sort of level of promise, right? Or they all have some sort of reasoning to get it, right? So I will say this. So starting with the common, stacking commons, it's the classic cover. People are going to want this. Any comic book collector is going to want the classic cover because that's it, right? Same thing with, like, if you think of Marvel Comics #1, or maybe that's not a good example, but maybe like Fantastic Four #5, like with Doctor Doom. Like, people think of that cover, not the rare or like ultra rare cover that looks something different. This is what I would assume most comic book collectors want. It also has the most mints, so that's the trade-off. Now, if you want to kind of hedge your bet, not even hedge your bets, but there are some people that do like the black and white versions of some comic covers, or, I mean, at the end of the day, this is literally a fourth of the mints as the common. So some people, I know some comic book guys, literally on Veve, that do bank on the uncommon selling for more, not only because it's less mints, but it's like still the cover, but it's a variation of the cover. So some people might like variations more than the classic cover, or if you just love this comic, you're going to get all the variations. So, and usually these are like the same price, right? So it's kind of crazy to think that, like, oh, these two covers are like the same price, but this one has a fourth of the mints. Why that doesn't make a whole lot of rhyme or reason, right? Veve exclusive covers are a big deal too, whether it's the rare or some people really like the black and white kind of like pencil work, or kind of like the what do they call it? Not like sketch work. There are people that just collect comic book covers that look like that. Ultra rare, I like personally. I kind of like ultra rares more than secret rares, just because the Veve exclusive artwork I think will do very, very well, and it's still rare enough that it still fetches like a good premium, right? 1,000 mints or 1,050 is still really low. Like, there's only 1,000. It's not like the secret rare, which has 600, but still, it's 1,000 is still low, and it's a Veve exclusive cover variant. And I do think anyone that likes this comic and you can't afford what 800 gems to buy the secret rare, 250 might be within reach for you, because for a lot of comics, or for some comics, like the ultra rare is like 1/8 of the price of the secret rare, so it's like the next best thing you can get. And of course the secret rare always has the highest potential because it's the secret rare, the least amount of mints, usually has a cool panel pull, all that stuff. So they all have redeeming qualities. They all have positives about each one. It's just whichever one you want to bank on, right? And I do think in some ways, with the way the Veve is going, with gems, and how the only way you can put in gems is by buying something direct and all that stuff. And if you don't want to keep putting gems in the app, maybe the best way to play things going forward is to start stacking, possibly, and especially for comics, because those are some of the most affordable things on the app. So, you know, it's like, oh, start buying, maybe not this, but, you know, it's a really good pickup for my NFT tracker. I like using this app too. There's so many good websites that I use for all kinds of stuff. So let's look at the common comics for under 7 gems. Let's literally just look at all the common comics that are below box price right now. And then we'll go from floor price to like most expensive to least expensive. Like, dude, this Todd McFarlane one's all the way down to 7 gems. This thing actually pushed like 12 for a little bit. I mean, this is another one. It's like you could just start. Some people have different limits. I know there's some comic book guys that refuse to stack anything if it's above like 6 gems. They're like, all right, at that point, it's not like it's getting expensive, but it's like not, it's becoming a little bit less of a stack, right? Less stackable. So like some of these Spider-Man art ones, I mean, this is all Todd McFarlane art covers, right? The whole Spider-Man series, the 1 through 5. First appearance of Jubilee. You know, you don't think there's going to be a couple comic book guys that want to collect the whole X-Men lineup? You know, get Colossus and then Nightcrawler and then Wolverine and then Jubilee and then Storm. Like all, I know a lot of them first appear in the same comic, but you know, you can kind of bank on that for 2 gems. Like for 20 gems, you can get 10 of these, rather than for 20 gems you get, you know, 3 of these. 3 of these. So. Dude, that's one thing I like about comics is like legitimately everyone has a different strategy. Some people like the uncommon, some people like the ultra rares because the Veve cover variant. Some people are just stacking the secret rares because they're trying to find the whales, or people that are trying to get for that upper echelon stuff. Like there's just so many different ways you can tackle it. So for me, I'm starting to adopt more of the stacking strategy. I still have 10 Ghost Rider commons and 3 ultra rares that I've been trying to get rid of for a while. But it's just too cheap. Like I'm just not going to sell them for less than I paid for them. I would need the Ghost Riders to be above 30 gems, the commons, for me to sell them. Which right now they're at like 18, so it's not too far off. But what are some other like comics that are like below like 3 gems or like 4 gems that are just like... I think this Marvel team up isn't too great. Inhumans might not be bad. It just sucks that the show and like any outside of the comics, like everything that shows the Inhumans kind of sucks. Like I know the show is like really bad, or the shows I should say. Common, yeah. Zach Rory, what's up, the Palace? I was 15 minutes behind, but yeah. Online gambling is illegal here in Utah. Can't use DraftKings or anything like that. I wonder why. I mean, heard you guys in Utah just finally got over caffeine like 5 years ago, maybe 10 years ago. So it might take a while for gambling to come around, you know? Disgusting that the Spider-Mans are so low. Are you talking about these ones that we were looking at earlier? Like the 1 through 5, like that series? Like Spider-Man number 3, Spider-Man. I actually like this cover. I actually kind of like the one that looks like Lizard is about to just bite his freaking leg off. And on top of that, this one, I really like this this Craven. Just all, it looks just gory. There's just blood everywhere and I like it. I think I've said this before too, but where is it? There is this one. I've shown it before on the stream, but this is by far and away, I think, my favorite, one of my favorite rare covers. This is probably 2 or 3 for me. Favorite looking covers. All right, let's go back to here. I know we kind of got a little distracted, but let's go ahead. We already looked at the top gainers and losers for the collectibles. We'll look at comics really quick. Let's look at top losers first. Spider-Man 252. Wait, no. Did someone list this on accident? Dude, I think someone listed this on... Wait, no, okay. I think, okay, it was just behind. I'm like, did someone list a secret rare 252 for 14 gems? No, it was just lagging behind or something weird was happening. Iron Fist common. And that's the other thing. It's like, I mean, Iron Fist for $5? Or it's Sabretooth, my bad. All right, I take it back. Duh, it's Iron Fist 14, so it can't be his first appearance. First appearance, Sabretooth. Again, some people might like getting all the X-Men villains. Hitmonkey number 1. I didn't mind the show. I actually watched the Hitmonkey show. I thought it was pretty good. Had some funny. It definitely gave me some like Archer. If you guys like the show Archer, you'll like the Hitmonkey show. Iron Man 55. This is first appearance of Thanos. This is going for 45. Immortal Hulk number 1. First issue of the Immortal Hulk. Okay, this is the ultra rare. All right, going for 60. Amazing Spider-Man 101. Down to 11. Okay, this is the Morbius one. Dude, it's Morbin time. Don't know what to tell you guys. It's Morbin time. Dude, damn, I meant to show you guys. My roommate got both of us, me and him, both some G Fuel, I guess, because he was buying something and he got an extra one. So mine is like a Venom themed thing and his is Morbius. You know what? Give me a sec. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go grab him. I'm gonna play a quick ad, but I'll be right back and I'm gonna show them to you guys. All right. Hey. That's good. Shit. Hold on, guys. The dog got away from me. So the dog, that's my roommate's dog. And she grabbed a thing. I was having, unfortunately, don't make fun of me, but I was having Taco Bell earlier. And she grabbed a Diablo sauce packet off the ground. She was carrying it in her mouth. And I was like, I think she has something in her mouth. And he opens it up and she had Diablo sauce. Anyway, long story short, got some G Fuel. And this one's kind of hard to see. This is a Morbius one. I have to do it this way. It was just funny. I don't know why, but we were just talking about the Morbius. Dude, that's so hard to see. Yeah, and this one's hard to see too, but this one has like Venom on it. They actually don't taste that great. I mean, they taste okay, but it's like, it's G Fuel, it's gamer fuel. So it's not even like pre-workout or anything, but. 181 SR Spidey just sold for way too cheap. Interesting. How much did it sell for? I guess we can't see it on here until it updates in a few minutes, but thoughts on Avengers number 4, thinking about stacking commons. My collectibles, I've got 50 Avenger 4 commons. Wow. Yeah, dude, everyone has a different technique of stacking, right? For some people, Avengers number 4, it really depends on your price, right? Some people want to stack commons that are below 5 gems. For some people, that limits 12 gems. Some people, it's 15 gems. So if you feel like that's 47, that's not it. Uncommon. Where is it? Avengers 4. Around 18K. 181. Which one's that? Is that the one I was just looking at? That's 252. I'll have to go back to that one. Yeah, I mean, right now it's at 10 gems for a common. We can actually look at the floor right now. So let's go to, actually go to comics. Avengers. Let's go to number 4. Wow, there's a lot of Avenger comics. Or quite a few, I should say. Yeah, the commons are going for 10, but I want to look at the... What does the floor look like? Could you actually sweep the floor? Okay, it starts going up pretty quick. And so this is it, right? Where it's like, what's more likely that, let's say you bought all these all the way. I mean, it's not even that many, right? Like let's say you bought 10 of these for 10, just to keep it simple, for 100. What's more likely is that Avengers number 4 is going to hit 20 gems, Or will something like I showed earlier, what the hell? That's not it. Or something like that Jubilee FA, right? We looked at. Or is that more likely to go from 2 to 4? Like, which one will likely happen sooner? It's hard to tell, to be quite honest. Like, which one is going to like perform better or do better? I think I might have to give this a refresh. It's just like not cooperating. So, I mean, everyone has their own thing, right? Like, also, I don't know how many gems you're trying to invest, right? So, if you only have 100 gems, maybe it's like, all right, maybe a stack of stuff like 10 gems or lower might be your thing. And like, is 10 comics even a stack for you? Or is something closer to like 20 to 50 or 100 plus closer to what your definition of a stack is? I mean, I could literally do this. This should be all just comics. Like this comic. It's the first appearance of Jubilee, right? Is it a super popular comic in real life? No, but I mean, it going from 2 to 4, probably not that hard, and it's still below box price technically. So there is that as well. BJ Wide says, trying to save gems. I'm a low mint hunter, but couldn't help myself with a random mint comment seen but Willie for near retail. LOL. Yeah, that's, just couldn't help yourself, right? And dude, if you got the money, or if you got the cojones or the foresight to go for low mints, go for it. I'm just not that person. I'd rather just deal with stuff at floor prices so I can easily get in and out of stuff when I need to. Yeah, people that do have low mints, I have a ton of respect for you and patience to obviously find a good mint and then try and get a premium out of it and all that stuff. So thoughts on New Mutants 87? I believe that's Deadpool, right? No, take that back. Deadpool is, I think, 47? Which one is Deadpool? Which number is that? 98. Way off. All right. New Mutants 87. I think it's all right. I think it really hinges on, I think, people that like X-Men know who Cable is, as well as Bishop. I think it's going to be pretty dependent on whether Cable keeps making appearances in the MCU and all that stuff. It's hard to tell. I'm not a huge speculative investor personally, in the sense of like, I'm not going to throw hundreds of gems or thousands of gems at a certain comic hoping that it'll pay off later. I know some people that are. I'm not even a comic book collector, but I'd rather just not leave stuff up to chance. Sure as hell not going to leave it up to like Disney or Marvel to like, and their writers, which are just dog water in my opinion. I'd rather stick to the classic characters that have already been established to be well written, beloved, high value, everyone likes them, rather than hoping a lot of people relying on the writers, relying on the movies, new movies, all that stuff to all of a sudden make these new characters into like very cool. And not only do they have to be well liked, but in some ways they have to overtake some of the like lower, even some of the mid-tier characters that are more well known, right? So I don't know, that's just not my thing. A lot of people know Cable. I think it depends on whether or not Cable is going to make more appearances in the MCU, but even then it's like I think he'll still do fine. I think enough people know of Cable and how badass he is for him to do well. And like him going this below box price, I don't know. Like I can't tell you what his upper limit is because I just genuinely don't know. But I do know that there are a lot of X-Men fans out there that probably want to collect any comic book that has the first appearance of any kind of character that appears in X-Men. And Cable and Bishop do appear quite a bit in X-Men, so. When will we be able to make bundles to sell? We can do it on OpenSea. That's another thing I covered on my thing, but I'll probably cover that tomorrow on VV Bros stream. So they have a stream tomorrow at noon Pacific time, and so they invited me on, which was super nice of them, to introduce basically all the same market and like master collector point ideas that I had that I introduced in like a video or so ago. CD streams. I have 61 of them. You'll do fine, dude. And that's the other thing, right? It's honestly, I feel like if you're buying, especially if you're buying a first appearance comic for below 3 gems, like the common, like you're fine. Like I'm not sure which one you bought. I don't know if you're buying the uncommon or the rare, or the secret rare. I don't know, but it's like, especially Cable. Like people know Cable. If you're buying for that cheap, it's only a matter of time before it's profitable. Now, if you're just buying like really just random stuff, like really just random comments with like no FA, no significance, bad CGC rating, like no potential to appear in the MCU, like nothing like that, and you're buying those for like 6 gems each or something, I'm like, all right, maybe not the best hard stack to have, but they are taking so long to make Deadpool 3. I hope he gets to interact with Spider-Man in the MCU at some point. Yeah, dude. I mean, honestly, Cable. Maybe less so Bishop because he can still time travel, but I think Cable's the main person. Yeah, Cable and Kang are like the 2 characters that have at least appeared in movies that have been able to like time travel and stuff, right? And those are actually like the most highly likely like reoccurring characters we could get if there is a multiverse thing. Because Cable can obviously travel through time. Kang can travel through time and multiverse and space, like do different dimensions and stuff. So I think Kang is going to be a reoccurring character, and Cable could be too, right? Common, yeah, then Common, you're fine. And it's a Todd McFarlane cover. I think that's another thing people forget. It's like Todd McFarlane made this one, I believe. So I think it's going to do pretty well. I think I have like 5 or 6 of these. I think I bought it just a couple more when it was like around 5 gems. Like I won 2 or 3 on drop, and I just bought like 3 or 4 more. So, I mean, I don't have over 60 like you do, but yeah. And I think it's another legitimate strategy. Like I said, like if I was just to buy comics for under 3 gems right now, like if I was only buying commons, it would probably be, let's do this. Max floor 3. Comics, get rid of that. Like if I was legitimately only buying or like trying to purposely hard stack, let's just stick to commons. Again, not even a comic book collector, but this is just me personally. There's actually 2 pages of comics that are below 3 gems. That's a cool cover too. Web of Spider-Man 31. But if I were to go out of my way and actually try to like stack something, it would probably be Jubilee. FA Jubilee or FA, the one we just saw here. Where the hell is it? Yeah, Cable. Like those would be the 2 I would get. Miss Marvel. I think this one all has the FA too, right? This is the FA of Mystique. That's right. That one might not be bad either. It's rumored Kang will be in Ant-Man 3. Yeah. I do think Kang will definitely be the big baddie, and then I think after Kang, Doctor Doom will be the new bad guy of the MCU. There's so many ways, there's so many directions the MCU could go in for like the next Thanos level threat, right? Or beyond. The only thing I'm kind of not liking about the MCU, and I've heard some people kind of complain about it, just like all the shows, all the movies, is that it's like all the movies and shows, they always just give you just enough to be like, all right, I'm kind of satisfied, but they always just prepare you for the future, right? Like all the endings that you get to see after the credits, or I should say all those like all the little teasers you see after the credits. It's always like preparing you for the next thing. It's like it just never seems like the current movie or whatever. You're like, Rob Liefeld? I could have sworn it was a Todd McFarlane cover. The artist is Rob Liefeld, creator of Deadpool. Yeah, but I think the of Deadpool. Okay, gotcha. All right. I thought we were talking about Cable or just like that cover. I don't know, that's just my take on it. As you guys can tell, I'm pretty like anti-Hollywood and anti all that stuff. Like, I like the old stuff. I think all the new stuff, quite frankly, is shit. So some of the stuff is good, but more often than not a huge fan of it. All right, let's go here. I don't think we've looked at the top comics. But yeah, dude, sacking Avengers 4, I mean, you can't go wrong with Avengers 4. Only question is like, all right, could you wait till we get closer to Comic-Con and then maybe buy a little bit more? Like, maybe this can go down to like 8.5 or like 9 gems, and like you can maybe stack a couple extra if you're gonna invest like, I don't know, 100 or a couple hundred gems. I don't know. Let's go to top gainers. Hero for hire number 1. That's the first appearance of Luke Cage. I haven't seen the show Luke Cage, but it's... Ooh, this pumped a ton. Holy moly. Dude, this was at 7 at one point. Now it's up to 14. This thing damn near doubled in price. All right, Luke Cage. I see you. Uncanny X-Men 282. The first appearance of Bishop. I do like Bishop. I've always liked Bishop and Cable. I've always liked watching them fight. They just perfectly personify like the 80s like macho, big muscled, like Arnold, you know, soldier dudes that I saw in X-Men. Like whenever I saw them fight, it was just hilarious. Just like big muscle bound dudes like shooting each other, and then when they get like close quarters, they like hit each other and like fly across the room and all that stuff. It was awesome. They're not like my favorite X-Men characters, but they were definitely up there. This is when yeah, Magneto rips the adamantium out of Wolverine's skeleton. I heard this is actually the scenario that kicked off Onslaught, who's a character that is Magneto combined with Professor Xavier. Like basically when Magneto did this, I think it killed Logan, I think, or like incapacitated him indefinitely. Something happened, and then like Professor Xavier got pissed off and like basically put Magneto in some like mental prison, and then something happened, and then they became Onslaught, which is like another big threat, which could happen in the MCU. Unlikely, because they would have to introduce Magneto and Charles Xavier and that whole story plot of Wolverine. But the MCU has done it before, where they kind of just skip story beats or just shortcut to certain events. Ultimate Fallout number 4, the ultra rare. This went up 364 gems. Wow, so this was going for 230. It's actually jumped up to 400. I think it's just mostly because the listings were getting so thin. I mean, there's 26. Only 4 were purchased. So it's not like someone in here just completely swept the floor. It's like it literally went down by 20%. Not even. Roughly. And the price just like skyrocketed. All new Marvel Now points. Someone is definitely sweeping these. Let's say that. Listings are all the way down to 27. Then people started taking profit. It's kind of retraced a bit. Immortal Hulk, number 1. Ultimate Fantastic Four, number 21. First appearance of Marvel Zombies. Oh, I remember this. Remember the alternate covers for this were kind of creepy. Yeah, you can kind of see it here. Oh, they might be... Yeah, this one, the Secret Rare, where they're all like zombified and stuff. That one's kind of crazy looking. Common's going for 3.3 gems. It was going for like 2.5. Fantastic Four 13. So this is the Watcher. Spider-Man number 2, comments. This was going for 2 gems. Now it's 2.6. Interesting how the uncommon went up, but not the common. Inhumans number 5. Who the hell is Yelena Belova? Who the hell is that? Who is that? It says the first appearance of Belena. I'm probably like mispronouncing it too. Oh, I haven't seen this like Inhumans show. Yelena Belova? Okay, she's supposed to be like the adopted sister of Natasha Romanoff. Romanoff. And a Red Room operative. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. Whatever. How was I looking at? Way over here. Top gainers. Strange Academy #1. I do like the Strange Academy covers. I like this one too. Not a huge fan of the one with the, I think it's the ultra rare with like the very cartoony look. I do like the rare a lot. I think at one point I might grab the rare of that. House of X ultra rare. Oh, this is the X-Men toy set cover stuff. Do you remember this? Is this, what is this? So he has different hands, and then you pop up his head and then he puts on like a scarf or something. It's interesting. Avengers number 57, first appearance of Vision. This is the ultra rare. Okay. Let's zoom out here a little bit. Kind of curious what this has done in the past. I wonder if they'll have an Avatar collectible. Could be worth a bit over time, depending how well the movies are received. There will be 5 movies by 2028. They also have rides at Disney World. Yeah. So it's crazy that like what we got. I don't know, like we didn't get any the hell is going on here? That how long was it since the last Avatar movie? Like 10 years? It's been a while since the last Avatar movie. And then all of a sudden they're coming out with like another one. So dude, I don't know what is going on with this thing. What is going on? Dude, what is going on with these charts? What are those? Guess I'll just refresh this. I probably got logged out. I think that's what the issue is. All right, maybe not. It's just being super weird. That's strange. Black Widow's sister, thoughts on ultra rare DeLorean? I think it's okay. I'm not a huge fan of the vehicles, to be quite honest. I think it's too heavily dependent on Veveverse. Its biggest catalyst is also the one that's like the furthest out. Yelena is the new Black Widow introduced in the film. She was also in Hawkeye. Both shows I've not bothered, shows or movies I've not bothered to watch. New Black Widow, basically. Yeah, they're trying to get rid of that old actress who I think was upset that they screwed over out of some money or whatever, because they put her movie in Disney Plus instead of the theaters, and so she made less money or something like that. I don't know what the exact deal was, but Jubilee still didn't appear in movies or shows, so I feel the same to stack and stash her FA. Yeah, I just hope. I mean, she was always kind of a meme, right? Especially in the cartoons, she would always like shoot fireworks and like distract Juggernaut, or you know, clearly just basically just be like a gnat or be like a fly. That's just kind of an annoyance too. It's clearly super superior villain, and she would always, you know, Wolverine's getting pinned against the wall, he's about to get crushed, and then she shoots some fireworks and they're like, huh, what's that? And she's like, hey, you. It's like, and then of course Wolverine or Cyclops shows up and like actually does the damage, so it's always kind of funny. But yeah, Jubilee FA, you know, same thing with Cable. Like Cable's appeared, but he hasn't played like a super significant role in the movies, right? So he could appear in, I mean, he travels through time. It sounds like a useful thing to have in the MCU if he could travel through time. What's up, Vibes? What's up, dude? Yo, Tron Skywalker, 14 years since Avatar, I think. 14 years, holy moly. Yeah, dude. Yeah, Avatar could be big. It could be, we'll see. Strange Academy or Scotty Young, he has a big fan base, same who did recent Thor Uncommons. Certain comic collectors will go out of their way to get his variants. Yeah, it's just one I don't care for. And you know what? That's the great part about comics, because if there's one comic cover or variant or style you don't like, then go get a Todd McFarlane one, or just go stack Jubilee FAs, even though it's, you know, it's not any specific cover, but it's like there's so many different ways you can go about in comics, you know, and collectibles too. There's so many different ways where it's like, it's just funny how people in the, I remember this was really big in the community where it's like, if you just don't understand, or if you just don't go out of your way to spend money on this niche, then like you're just stupid, right? It's like, how do you not understand? I always forget that freaking guy's name. What's his name? I'm gonna look it up now. Contemplating Venice. Who the hell was this made by? Patrick Hughes. It's like, if you just don't know who Patrick Hughes is, and if you just don't, if you don't invest in these collectibles, you just don't understand the long-term value of it. It's like, yeah, I probably do, but I just don't know enough about it, and I don't care, and I just not sure if I genuinely believe people that like high-end fine art, that like to buy, you know, one of one or limited run pieces, are interested in online alternative investing digital collectibles that have 16,000 mints instead of 10 true piece physicals, right? Or whatever it is. They do limited runs. Who knows? It just seems very different to what the current culture is, right? Or the current whatever is. Don't know how else to explain it. Austin says, I'm 26 now and 13 when the original Avatar released in 2019. Nice. Or 2009. It's been a very long time. Hope the sequel is good. I think so too. I also like how what's-his-face was basically a betrayer to humanity. He backstabbed all the humans and sided with the I don't know what there's a name for like the indigenous species people there or whatever, but yeah. Basically a betrayer to humanity. Sided with the aliens and got them all killed, all the humans. There's some human casualties, but yeah. Rafael Martinez, Jubilee actually holds back her powers. She can create nuclear damage. Yeah, you know what? I've always liked the writers that go to insane lengths, or basically bring a mutant's or a superhero's power to like to the craziest degree. One of my favorite ones is this. Let me see here. Make sure I got the right one here. There was a point, like, I know there was a comic that like Gambit, because he like had this crazy mastery of like kinetic energy, his body literally became like pure kinetic and like potential energy. It was something like ludicrous. But I've always liked those kind of comics where it's like, the hell? This isn't right. Okay, I think this is it. Sorry if there's a bit of sound here. All right, give me a sec here, guys. Yeah, but I've heard that issue too before. 63SW web app would not allow me to add gems for a 9K grail today. Couldn't preload or buy after reserve. Error message said limit of 500 gems per week. I heard the same thing. A lot of people are actually getting that error. So I don't know what it is. I don't have to involve KYC or whatever it is. I'm just not sure. Rafael Martinez says, no, for real. She Can Emma Frost read her powers? But she has destructive potential. Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I mean, in the cartoons, she was always a bit of a meme, right? But here's just like a very small segment of I'll pause this. This is from one of my favorite YouTubers when it comes to comics and how I know some bits about comics and stuff, mostly because of this content creator. Sorry if this part's too loud.
Things that New Sun did, he could create cold by just slowing things down to the point where it was just astronomically cold, or make things super hot by like speeding them up. I mean, that's what the whole thing of creating an explosive process was, just moving atoms at such an astronomical rate that they would explode. And
so that's supposed to be Gambit. He's supposed to be made of like pure energy.
Someone like him couldn't really fit into the MCU, and why he doesn't really have a place in comics is because you're basically talking about manipulating the atomic structure of matter, if only for no other reason than just make it move faster. Now that's one of the big differences between, like, okay, let's talk about this for a second, because this is an important thing. In Marvel Comics, you have what are called reality warpers, and then you have matter manipulators. All right, reality warpers are people like Franklin Richards, people like Matthew Malloy, people who can basically change reality to make it whatever it is that they want it to be. The idea here is you have like the law of conservation of mass, right? Like matter cannot be created or destroyed. That following the rules of physics, when you die, your atoms will be dispersed across the cosmos to become part of the background energy of the universe, or they'll become part of the earth and the dirt, or whatever the case is. But like your atomic, like Matthew Malloy, that doesn't apply to them. They can just defy the laws of physics. Molecule man, half of a cosmic cube.
Talking a little bit about random stuff. Well, long story short, but this was like a random story that
the Earth explode. Out here in a second.
There's a part of Gambit that got so good at mastering his abilities of manipulating kinetic energy, he could cause giant explosions, the destruction of like planets. He could like freeze things because he would just slow the kinetic energy just so slow that it would just freeze. He did all kinds of crazy stuff. So that kind of what reminded me of like Jubilee, where it's like people that have mastered their powers and like taken it to, of course, some like crazy higher theoretical degree, which is like really, really difficult. That's a big concern for me. I have heard both that KYC removes that limit on gems per week, and also that no matter whether you're KRC or not, I hope it's the first. Yeah, are you KYC'd 63SW? If you're KYC'd, then that might be an issue, or you should put in a support ticket. I would put in a support ticket. But if you're not KYC'd, I would still put one in and be like, yo, I'm trying to buy this. You guys want my $9,000 or not? Because if not, could you please lift this restriction if you guys want it? Get rid of that, get rid of that. Okay, that's unrelated. All right, sorry. I'm also replying to okay, cool. Dealing with that. I'm actually going to be appearing in, actually I'll just do it here, an Veve Bros live stream tomorrow at noon Pacific time. They wanted me on the stream talk about a cool few things, so I'd appreciate if you guys would retweet this. I'll put that in the chat as well. Just like it, retweet, do whatever you want. So that's the official tweet. It says Veve Bros are going live tomorrow at 12 noon. We're here on stream with Veve Vibes and my co-host Tony Get the Omi. Dude, I like Tony. I watched their first stream. I've watched their videos before, but I watched their first stream. I haven't followed Tony. I've definitely followed Veve GTV. Those guys are hilarious. I'll admit, those guys are hilarious. Both Tony Get the Omi and Veve. I forgot the other dude's name, to be honest. The guy that actually invited me to the thing. Come through if you can, retweet. For anybody trying to feel the vibes. Hell yeah, dude. you guys could retweet, just like it. You don't have to retweet, but like it, do something with it. I'm going to be on there tomorrow. It's going to be a ton of fun. So I also need to fix my background. I could have sworn I fixed my background. Joe M, I'm thinking about making a play on the Mighties and gamification based on popularity. Would you go common Spider-Man or bigger stack of Deadpool? Pure speculation. Thanks, brother. So Joe, if you're stacking, I'm assuming you're trying to stack a lot of one thing, right? To be honest, dude, if you're trying to make, I know it's less stack worthy, but if you're trying to really make a move for Marvel Mighties, dude, I think the villains are the way to go. Villains or some of the higher end good guys like Spidey 2099 or like Odin, maybe Beta Ray Bill because he's like a bit cheaper now. I don't know. But if you're trying to stack, you know, you want to get more than like a handful of bad guys or whatever, because I think bad guys are going to perform the best. There's way less of them. If there is going to be gamification, it's likely going to be a 4-to-1 ratio of good guys to bad guys. You know, I mean, most fighting games or any kind of gamification with Marvel Mighties, I imagine it's going to be 4 good guys and 1 bad guy, which makes the 1 bad guy probably more profitable to have. My VV collection, MJP, what up, dude? And GM Metals, or G Metals. But Vibes just tuning in. Yeah, we've been hanging out, talking a bit about the market, talking about VV, all kinds of stuff. Talked about, what did we talk about earlier? Steam Summer Sale. I bought a couple games on Steam Summer Sale, but Joe, if you wanted to go for the Mighties, let's try this. Mighties? Oh, it's because it's under comics. Right? Let's do all. Let's type in Marvel. Collectibles. Okay, let's just do this. So if you're trying to stack Marvel Mighties, Joe, let's try and find the ones like under 10 gems if we're trying to do like a stack. I don't know. I mean, personally, if you're going for a stack, I mean, I think Deadpool's fine, but dude, Thor is cheap. I know he's not FA. If you're, okay, let's say this. If you're not going for FAs, I think Thor is pretty good because he's still low mint. 8,000 mints versus what? Like, let's say you wanted to stack Franklin Richards. 30,000 mints. That is, what, 4 times the amount, roughly? Like 3 to 4 times the amount. So I kind of don't suggest that. I think you probably want to stick with the FAs, which in case Deadpool's not an FA either because we already got him already. So the Thing, there's still a ton of these as well. Dude, that's just tough. I mean, there's a reason why these Marvel Mighties are so cheap. I don't know how Valkyrie's gonna do. I don't think she's gonna do well at all. Yeah, I'm just not sure what you mean by stacking, and I think stacking stuff with this many mints, you know, 13,000, even 8,000 on, you know, unless you're legitimately trying to stack like 800, like you're trying to come up with like 10% of the market cap, even 5%, like you got 400 Thors. I don't, there's just so many of them on the market. Maybe if we increase the price up to like, let's go up to like 20, see where that goes. Have you been active with Hero lately? No, dude. I fully cashed out. I got my final cash out, I think less than a week ago. I cashed out once for like 1,400. Then my most recent cash out was like 800. And I'm kind of done with it, dude. Like you know, my play was to basically just buy the digital packs, the digital exclusive packs. Just buy those, Hopefully I win on the whitelist or whatever and just resell them immediately. I don't really care to chase the cards or do anything like that. I do like the physicals. I mean, let's see if I got. I do think the hybrid card. I'm much more bullish on the hybrid cards than anything. Like, probably my favorite physicals that I have. I think these are my two favorites. I can find them. Oof. Yeah, these are my two favorites, which is I'm much more bullish on the hybrids than anything, because I do think the hybrids that are going to be at the San Diego Comic-Con will go for a good amount, but I know this might be hard to see, but this is Dark Side, and I got this from a single 8-pack, I believe. So Dark Side, mint number is 1056, which is all right. And then I just like the look of this Owlman. I know Owlman's not worth a ton, but I just like the holographic look and stuff. And I mean, the cards look amazing. So I'm just not chasing leaderboard, not really chasing anything. Honestly, I'm just trying to get liquidity so I can keep getting stuff on Veve. That's really it. Beta Ray Bill for the win. I currently have 6 of them and want to get to 1% of the mints. What are your thoughts on Beta Ray? I think Beta Ray is great. If we're just talking, I mean, I don't know what you're trying to hard stack G metals. Like, again, it's. I wish there was. If I really type in Mighties, it won't work. Mighty. Oh, it does work. Let's go. I don't know, something was just acting weird earlier. Okay, so we have all the Mighties here. In my honest opinion, dude, like, just getting the villains or the very low mint ones like Beta Ray Bill, like Odin, like Spider-Man 2099, if you are going for the good guys, I would go for those, personally. I mean, even I remember trying to get like Ghost Spider, but there's 15,000 of these. Like, that's quite a bit, dude. But if you are going for like stacks and stuff, you know, like, of course, Green Goblin for 166. Holy shit, so cheap. I remember when people were buying Goblin for like 800. Also, I would say if any of the Fantastic Four members, I would probably say Human Torch is probably the best one to get. Even then, there's 15,000 for a rare Human Torch. So many. So maybe Doctor Doom? Red Skull? I think FA Steve Rogers, maybe FA Sam Wilson. I don't know. Sam Wilson's pretty cheap, but I'm just not sure how much further Disney's going to push him as a character. Maybe consider Sam Wilson Mighty FA to stack. Just announce a Captain America movie. Oh, okay. I didn't know about that. My Veve collection says, back in the January pump, my common Marvel Mighties were my biggest winners in terms of percent compared to the other rarities. Yeah. That's the whole thing. Typically, gem for gem, at least maybe as it pertains to comics or just other things, commons will probably net you the most, gem for gem. The only issue is that you do have to sell a lot of them, right, in order to compare, where it's like, all right, do I want to buy a 100 gem comic or 10 gem comics, right? And then I do think the commons would go up more gem for gem rather than the rare, but then again, you have to sell all 10 comics to equal that one rare, where selling one rare is much easier than selling 10 commons without, you know, dipping the floor, right, or making a wall. Stack Loki, I think Stack Loki is a good call too. I was trying to think of it like in a cheap sense, right? Let's look at floor price. Let's say I had 1,000 gems. If I had 1,000 gems and I only wanted to stack like Marvel Mighties, I'll probably get some Captain Americas. Let's say I'll put and all I wanted was I don't know why I'm laughing about the whole like Marvel Mighty thing. So it's not John F. Walker. It's not even on this page. I would actually get nothing on this page. I would get nothing on this page. What I would get, I mean, I might get like 5 Sam Wilsons or something like that. I don't know. I'm not a huge proponent of Sam Wilson. I would get a decent amount of Thors. I'd probably let Spider-Man 2099 go, like, unless I can stack them, which if I had 1,000 gems, it's just too much for one. Like, I'd rather have 9 Odins, you know, 8 or 9 Odins than one Spider-Man 2099. That's just me. I mean, because they almost have the same mint number, right? There's 2,500 Odins and there's 2,000, 2,100 Spider-Mans. Yeah, I would probably get like, if I had 1,000 gems, probably get like 3 Beta Rays, which is 450. Get a good amount of Odins. Like 2 Doctor Dooms. A couple Green Goblins. I don't know. You could also just stack just nothing but Doctor Dooms or something like that. Like, I feel like you're really... You got to get the villains. I mean, you could probably skip Red Skull, but I think skipping Doctor Doom is a mistake. And Green Goblin's pretty popular, obviously, with Spider-Man, right? So... I know he's got the Tesseract and all that shit, but whatever. I'd say my top 5 definitely is Loki, Spider-Man, Goblin, Doom, Beta Ray, and Odin. I'd rather buy 3 Odins than a Red Skull, personally. And then get a few Steve Rogers. I mean, there's a shit ton of him. Don't get me wrong. There's 30,000 Steve Rogers, but get a few of him. I think that was the low barrier to entry that pushed them up compared to the other collectibles. Yeah, they still are the cheapest, right? So that's what I did for Hero. Made my 4x on my money and cashed out, splitting the profits between gems and OMI. That's the way to do it, dude. I think I put in $600 and I cashed out $2,200. So I'm happy with that return. And I still have some cards to sell, but even then, even if the stuff I have left over is maybe worth 20 bucks on Hero, so it's just whatever. Like, I have so much stuff listed for $1 and it's just not selling, so I'm just like, whatever. I think a lot of people, exactly speak, including myself, really wish they bought the maximum amount of digital packs for that very first Hero set, because that first pack of Hero cards, or that first set of digital exclusive Hero cards, the packs were going up to 800, and I'm just like kicking myself. I'm like, dude, what do I got so much money. Imagine putting in $500. Imagine putting in 500 bucks and then getting 8 grand. Maybe it's 7,500 because it was going for basically 800. But like, imagine putting in $500 and then getting 7 grand 2 days later. Like, what? Yeah, that was pretty absurd. Processed my Hero cash out in May. Still haven't received my 1,800. Really, dude? Dude, I got mine in like 3.5 weeks, so that's kind of weird. And I think the second time I cashed out, it took like 2.5 weeks, so it was actually a bit faster. I hope Marvel releases an exclusive story on Veve someday. Imagine a true FA of a Marvel character on Veve, giving people who receive the NFT the right to send a printed copy home. That would be cool. I mean, people have talked about that with... Well, first off, Batcows are already kind of doing that. They're trying to make a Batcow exclusive like NFT comic with the Batcow owners determining the name, the story, you know, the plot points, the villain, all that stuff, I believe. And that NFT comic, which I voted on some of the stuff. I don't think I voted on the most recent one. But it's interesting. And I do think if Veve keeps being successful with the comics and Marvel wants to kind of, you know, test out a new superhero and they're not sure if it's going to do well, you know, before they mass print 1 million copies of a certain comic, they'd rather see if it's actually going to do well. So they might release it on Veve first and all that stuff. So what's next to Stack Veve Vibes? Stacking gems. Stack gems, wait for San Diego Comic-Con, wait for Spider-Man 300, or no, Amazing Spider-Man 300 to come out, wait for Hulk 181 to come out, wait for Journey into Mystery 83 to come out, wait for FA Punisher, I forgot that one to come out. Just wait for those comics and then buy those. That's the way to do it, to be quite honest. Any thoughts on best 2.5 item to stack considering jumping into season 1s with lower fees? Let's take a look. I'm trying to think if there's a way I can like look at like low fee season 1 stuff to like flip season 1 stuff with lower fees. trying to think of a way we can like view that. I mean, I know of one way, but it'd be kind of obnoxious. Wait, have I not been showing my screen at all this whole damn time? I thought I was showing my screen this whole time. So I was like pointing at stuff. I'm like, oh, let's look here. I'm like, oh, look at that. You guys need to tell me this thing. You guys need to tell me these things. Toby's, there's a lot of SR comics under 70. Good opportunity to snag for long-term and MCP. I still think if you're going for MCP, I think you just go for the rares, to be honest. I don't know. Because like what, you grab a SR for 70 gems and you get 6 points for 70 gems. Or you can buy 3 rares and get 6 gems, which costs less than 30 gems. I don't know. That's assuming you don't already have those rares, right? Because if you stack more than one, it's not worth it. But stackity stack, we can't see anything vibes. Okay, Mendez did tell me. That's my fault. Was January pump all manipulated by the bots and current prices are what they should be at? I don't know. I mean, saying that bots or fake gems didn't play a hand at all in the January pump, I think is a little, can't say that, but I think is that the whole reason? No. Stack Gemmies, Gem FA, what's the next pump? So I'm gonna go through this quickly because I just realized I was not showing any of this stuff. Long story short, if you're stacking Marvel Mighties or like gems, if I had like 1,000 gems, I'd probably buy like, all right, 2 Dr. Dooms, like 2 Dooms, 2 Goblins, 2 Beta Rays, and like the rest would be like Odin, to be quite honest. Like if I was just hard stacking, or if I was just like buying Marvel Mighties, because I truly believe the villains as well as the high end good guys are gonna do the best on the app. The only like good guy I might stack would like maybe be Steve Rogers, or I mean Loki too. I forgot about Loki. I think Loki's a good stack as well. So sorry I didn't show any of that stuff. What is the next pump? What is the catalyst? Do we return back to these levels after the pump? Crypto to NFT is the biggest pump. Veve as well as the licensors need to start advertising NFTs and Veve. Licensors could start giving utility to increase their value. Master Collector Program, I think, would only help people that have already invested in Veve, because I feel like with prices this low, I feel like if you're going to put in more money into Veve, like you're already going to do it, or if you have the capability to do it, you're already doing it right now, right? You've already heard through the grapevine that Veve's going to shut off. I mean, people are already having issues putting in gems, right? So it's like now's the best time to do it. So I think MCP is only going to help the people that are obviously already on the app, just kind of like maybe double down and pay a little bit more to get more points or something. But what we genuinely need is just more people, more exposure, more people, more money on the app. I think San Diego Comic-Con is going to be nice. We're going to get some new people on the app, but even then you have to think that even for you guys that first got on Veve, how long did it take you to put some like serious cash into Veve, right? Did it take you a few weeks? Some people might take a few months, you know, because you have to do all this research, right? You have to understand NFTs and then Veve and then the licensors and then utility and then OMI, and then how does OMI play into all this, and then like the potential Veveverse, and then renting, and then MCP, and then the market and the trends, and there's so much stuff you have to like learn to understand before you fully grasp like, oh, okay, like now it's starting to make sense, and like now's a good time to buy. Like there's so many different aspects, because a lot of people that come in from San Diego Comic-Con are just going to be like, okay, cool, like digital comics, that's nice. All right, I'll buy one, or I'll go get it, and okay, cool, I got more of this like gem money, like what do I do now? Like they're just gonna like not like, it's gonna take them a while to like just even wrap their head around Veve before they start investing real money. Yeah, I was one of the people who were whitelisted for the second because I couldn't buy them at checkout for some reason. Yeah, and the second one didn't do bad. That first one was nuts. I actually ended up being able to buy two packs from that first whitelist thing, so I'm kind of glad I did that. But you know, I wish I bought 10 and then sold them all immediately. So can't wait for our Atro pre-sale card. Gonna cash that out ASAP. Did we ever, is that what we're all getting? If people like pre-ordered or pre-saled, if they pre-ordered a pack, they're just getting a card? Was that like the huge thing? Was that what they announced? I put in 250 and walked with 1800. Hell yeah, dude. I'm selling all my HRO cards. I'm in Canada, so Hero is useless for me. Yeah. So 7.2x, I guess, not 4. Yeah, just a little bit better than what you said. No clue what to do with my physical cards on. Neither do I. I mean, it might be one of those things where it's like you just don't touch them for like 10 years and then like then it'll probably be worth something. Who knows? Batcal Vibes YouTube channel coming soon. There's just like not much to talk about with the Batcals. Like there's new content every 2 months, but I mean that's kind of it, right? And I'd rather just occasionally talk about it on this channel rather than make a whole new channel for Batcals. That's just me. Nope. What happened to the Veve logo NFT? When was that coming out? No screen this whole time, huh? It's all good. Yeah. So the Veve logo was given to all the people that went to that God, was it the Decon event or whatever that happened like last month? They gave it out as a promotional drop to those people. So as of right now, we have no idea what's going to happen with the wait list or sorry, the what's it called? Like the reserve system. What the hell's it called? Not reserve system. Like the waiting room drop system, whatever. Like we haven't gotten any update on that. We don't know if Veve is still going to do it, or have they just completely abandoned the whole idea until we cross that bridge where we might need it and we'd like genuinely have 1 million people on the app. Who knows? Put in $300 for a Batcal and walked with $695 and just cashed out. All paths lead to Veve. Yeah, so I bought 2 Batcals. I still have both. I'm still trying to find out if what's it called? I was also waiting for cash out too, right? For Palm NFT to show up, but it's been here for the last 3 days, I think. I think cash out's been on Palm since July 7th. And one looks really good. I can actually pull it up for you guys. I'll show you guys my Batcals. I'll be surprised if it still has me logged in. I might have to like re-log in here. Yeah, okay, cool. And that's the other thing too. I was kind of afraid that like, wait, if I sell my Batcal, do I just waive any future utility that I might get with the Batcals? Because you know they say like every 52 days you're going to be getting like some sort of utility or an airdrop or whatever. So if I sold my Batcal, does that mean I don't get that anymore because now someone else owns it? But these are my NFTs. Or at least these are the ones I have. So I got, dude, this one looks really sick. I like this one because it kind of reminds me of like Wolverine. It has like that yellow and the green on it and the purple eyes. I mean, it being like a 3-tone color thing isn't my favorite. I think ideally you only have like a 2-color tone thing. These are the rarities. I have one less than 1% thing and the rest are kind of generic. I guess I do have a 2%er here. So this one looks kind of cool, but this one, I like the look of this one a lot. It's full purple. It's got the visor headpiece on the top. I like the long pointy ears. This one has a 2%, 2%, 1%. So it's not super rare, but I guess it has like some 2% or it has 3 2% or less, but I just don't know how that works in the grand scheme of things. So, so I still got those. If I'm going to sell one, it'll probably be this guy. If I had to sell one, I might keep one long term, but we'll see. I still don't even know what the hell these do. I think if you own one of these, it gives you the ability to get like exclusive NFTs that are airdropped for these like regions or something. I still don't fully wrap my head around this whole Palm NFT like Batcal thing. I just thought the utility of like coming up with a comic and like choosing stuff seemed kind of cool and all that stuff, but other than that, I'm not too sure on. These are normal market prices, maybe even overvalued. January was a sham. Yeah, January sucked. I mean, it was great if you sold during January, but if you didn't and you just carried stuff all the way down, then yeah, that sucks. I wonder if we'll ever see bubbles over 5.5K and Professor Utonium over 3.5K again. Are those just conveniently the prices that you got at G Metals? Yeah, sorry I skipped your question earlier, Execu Speak. Well, I was going to find an answer to that in a bit. If we can get interoperability between NFTs and metaverses, what will make the Veveverse stand out above all the other metaverses? I think the Viviverse initial iteration is just going to be like a glorified VR chat for our vault, to be quite honest. Like, you're going to be able in your vault, you can place NFTs, you can like move stuff around. You might be able to have other people visit your vault, like physically, and like walk around in the Viviverse. They even said it's going to be very, very surface level. And I think Veve is better off just partnering or collaborating or whatever the hell the terminology is with another company that is already making a metaverse and doing it that way. That's the best way to do it. I mean, Veve's biggest leverage right now is their IPs, right? They're like, cool, if you're making Facebook, if you're making a metaverse, we already have all these IPs leveraged and confirmed. We have all these NFTs set up. It's all official. How about we can put our stuff on your platform, and then all the people that have NFTs on Veve, if they're willing to transfer interoperability, you know, basically transfer the NFTs to the metaverse or show them off or whatever, they can get a code that will, you know, I don't know if there's some sort of fee associated with being in the metaverse or whatever it is, but we'll probably get some sort of incentive for actually having our NFTs on that metaverse and doing it there. Because the first metaverse to also have big name licensing IPs and stuff, probably more people are going to go there than the one without anything on it. So we'll see. Kind of curious how that stuff plays out. It's totally, this is all new ground. It's all new foundation. We have no idea what any of this stuff is going to look like long term. We all have glimpses and ideas, but I don't think anyone genuinely knows how everything's going to pan out perfectly. Pre-orders for Hero get a Pioneer card airdrop utility to be announced, but they mention sneak peeks, blah, blah. Yeah, sneak peeks, wait, you know, I don't know. It just seems like all the airdrops are just more of the stuff you've already bought, which currently a lot of the current stuff is like going down in price. So it's like, hey, you paid a bunch of money, or you already paid money for these exclusive digital cards. We'll just give you more digital exclusive cards that people are going to want to buy. I don't know. You get a digital card that gives you power to vote for utility. That's cool. I'm more than happy to floor it and sell it immediately. The utility for it is that it puts $500 in my pocket. That's the utility of the card, of that digital card. I like that utility. That's my favorite utility, actually, in case you guys didn't know. If something can give me utility, real life utility, that's putting money in my wallet. Superstar money. You think sports cards coming soon? I do think, because people talked about this before, Superstar money, and thank you guys for showing up. I do think the new vertical that Veve's going to do, because people are talking, oh, what's that new vertical they're talking about? I do think it's cards in general. So DC cards, Marvel cards, sports cards, Yu-Gi-Oh cards, Magic the Gathering, Pokemon. Who knows where we're gonna get that? But the fact that you can get cards, you'll be able to make decks. Maybe you can do community-made games with the decks as well. So you can just kind of. I do think cards are the new medium, in my opinion. That's the new vertical. Is cards is a huge thing. Where do you have comics? Where do you have stamps? Why not cards? We have like lenticular cards, but I don't think those aren't your typical cards for collecting when you really think about it. At this point, they might as well go straight or MCP Pro. Why waste time on Q system? They already took away transfers and can ban accounts for off-app gem sales. I remember I watched that video, Superstar Money, you guys talking about how Veve essentially made themselves judge, jury, and executioner when it comes to your Veve account if they want to. If they feel like you're, you know, they might not even have evidence, but if they're like, hey, you bought that Toby for 400 gems, that's sketchy. Account banned, you know, your account's banned. Like, it's like, what? Not even a warning or anything. I mean, who knows how Veve's actually going to do it? Or maybe Veve just had to put that in writing in the legal terms and agreement just to kind of cover their ass, probably for legal reasons, also for insurance, all that stuff. But are they actually going to enforce it? Who knows? I don't know of anyone that's gotten banned or anything that's bad happened to them yet. So, but it could be one of those things where it's just a formality, very similarly to where Veve has to say, we're a collectibles app. We're not an investing app. We're a collectibles app. Where it's like, all right, sure. You say that so you guys don't get sued, or there's not some sort of weird liability thing where it's like, hey, you said you're an investing app, or you never said you're a collector's app. And I lost a bunch of money or this happened, right? So it could just be a formality thing, and I hope that's the case, because I do agree. I do think we should be able to do whatever the hell we want with our collectibles at the end of the day. Nice, they both look solid. Can you put the bat mask on? You can. I've seen some people do some Snapchat filter thing. I haven't set that up at all. I mean, it seems kind of cool, but the whole Snapchat filter thing seems cool. I haven't set it up, but yeah. Oh yeah, the bat cows, yeah. Yep, there's a Snapchat filter to wear your bat cow. Yeah, there is. Omi bought Omi. Abe says bought Omi today at 0.00156. Stoked on these prices. What's your gut instinct? Think Omi is bottom? I have no idea, dude. Honestly, I've not followed Omi that closely. I'm not even sure of all the trends associated with it. He also asks, how much do you think a common Vader will go for in a bull run? It's so hard to tell, dude, because part of me just wants to say, yeah, it'll go up X amount, but considering there was a lot of factors outside of Eevee's hands that caused the January pump, and so much stuff is getting kind of made during the bottom of this market. It's really hard to tell the upper end of this stuff, because it's all comparative, right? And then that's part of me thinks, you know, unfortunately, the very pessimistic side of me is thinking like, all right, are there really going to be collectibles with 7,000 mints, 10,000 mints, 3,000 mints, that kind of stuff? Are they all going to be worth $5,000, $10,000? Like right now? It's kind of a tough sale to think in my head, right? Especially with the amount of people we have on the app. With the amount of people that we have on the app right now, for some collectibles, that just doesn't seem feasible. Even if they hit those numbers before, it's like, it's a tough call. We genuinely need, I think, millions of people on the app, and mass adoption, and advertising, and crypto to NFT, and a lot of these things. I'm not saying it's never going to happen, but I do think some of these prices or these things that are going to hit like all-time highs of like January again, I think it might take a little bit longer than some people think. I think people are forgetting genuinely how early we are with all this stuff. And like, yeah, the January pump was a sneak peek of how high the prices could go, even though a lot of it was synthetic. We'll see. I'm not trying to fight everything, and I do think I'm still holding my collectibles. Like, it's not like I'm cashing out. I'm still up thousands of dollars from what I first invested into Veve. So I've been very fortunate. But even then, like I said, the real catalyst that we need is honestly just we need way more people on the app. We need crypto and NFT. I think, you know, we can't just rely on whales to carry the whole market. Like, whales will buy up certain things, then some people will jump on, but I'm like, okay, I don't know. Like, we genuinely need just more people on the app. Like, I don't even know how else to explain it, but Superstar Tron Skywalker giving more lights in here. Arthur Laub, hey, cool live. Just to know, are you still bullish on the MNF? I'm stacking them. MNF. What's MNF? You're gonna have to fill me in on that. Still bullish on MNF. You're gonna have to fill me in on what that means. I'm probably just overthinking it, but also I'm skeptical about Pokemon. I collect IRL cards, and they give you code cards in each pack to play the non-NFT online TCG. Magic the Gathering, however, seems like it would be more possible and huge. Yeah, dude, imagine if Magic the Gathering, because they're not going to reprint the classic cards, right? But imagine they did a reprint with all the classic Jewel cards, Black Lotus, all the crazy cards that came out in that first set. They already know it's worth a lot. So they're like, hey, why don't we just release the same set, maybe less packs, and the Black Lotus is still going to be worth a shit ton, and all the other jewels and stuff like that are going to be worth a ton. I think it was called like the Power 10 or 9 or 14. There was like a set of the original Magic the Gathering cards that were just absolutely absurd together. It's easily some of the strongest cards that's ever existed in the TCG. Yeah, if they introduce that back, I think that'd be big. I don't even know Magic the Gathering that well, and I know Black Lotus NFT would be huge. Yeah, Black Lotus would be massive. So imagine if they re-release that, and that's the nice thing. And this is kind of how I explain NFTs to some people. Oh, this Veve, digital collectibles. I'm like, dude, just imagine there's companies out there that can't re-release old stuff because it would crash the market or make it worse. I mean, look at Pokemon cards, right? But if you don't think like Magic the Gathering, if they had the chance to make tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars for free just by making digital versions of cards they've already made that are already worth a ton of money in real life, and they could just kind of just double dip on those cards again, and it costs them no overhead. They don't have to worry about delivery, and they get reoccurring payments. Like, they would make more money, you know, selling those cards again on digital format than they would, because, you know, technically, in a way, Wizards of the Coast missed out all that money because they're not making money on those Black Lotuses anymore. They're already sold. They're already to the card shops or game shops. Like, they only make money once, but now if there's a digital one, or if there's only 50 Black Lotus, each time one of those gets sold, Magic Wizards of the Coast are getting a ton of that money. Jerry Pump was crazy, but it's like we were kind of starting over again now. Next time it ought to be natural, and I'm pretty excited to see what the real value of these things are. Same, dude. I'm not fighting it. It's just we will see these all-time highs again, but it's not going to take a month and a half. Like, we saw December and it was like chilling, then it just like flew up. It might be closer to like 6 months to a year, or a year and a half, or 2 years. Who knows? It's, if we want it to be all natural and not have, especially with the amount of restrictions we have with gems, new people have to buy collectibles. You can't insert gems directly and all that stuff. That's why I think OMI to NFT is, or just crypto to NFT, is going to be the biggest catalyst by far. UV Analyst YouTube, if we get Pokemon, you can bet I'll be stacking the packs and not opening them. The real value's in the packs. IRL, definitely open some. So that's what I mean. I do think Veve is going to leverage that the packs are, I think that's going to be the new vertical for Veve, is just packs or cards, which they can then, instead of selling a blind box, you're just buying a pack. So basically, instead of blind box, you're getting a random thing, right? You open a pack, which then in and of itself has a blind box of you getting 5 random cards or whatever it is. And then you can either sell the pack or sell the cards individually. Literally no different than Hero, right? And I think if Veve leveraged that, I would be a pack guy too. I don't want to, you know, I'd rather have everyone else take the risk of opening packs, and with enough people that open packs, they'll then open Charizards or Chanseys or Snorlaxes or all that shit that's going to increase the price. And then just by them opening it, it'll also increase the price of my cards too, or my packs as well. The only catch-22 of digital packs, and especially with the way Veve's set up, people can see, all right, there's 500 Charizards and already 300 have been unboxed or opened and it's circulating in the market. There's only 200 left. And like, people could do some pretty in-depth math as to like, what are the chances of opening a Charizard and this and that. I think the whole reason why the classic cards of Pokemon, or just pretty much any TCG set of cards, right? The classics, is people have no idea. People have no idea how many Charizards are left. People have no idea how many like red rubies, or I think it's a red ruby, whatever it is in Magic the Gathering, or Black Lotuses. People have no idea how many are left. There could be 2 left, there could be 200 left. But the fact that it is an unknown is what makes it valuable, because you can't just say like, well, there's already 150 Charizards, there's only 40 left, so all right, these last few packs aren't worth as much or whatever. So that's kind of the catch-22 of owning a pack, because we just don't know. But if Veve did it in a way where it was genuinely random and those cards weren't already pre-minted or like pre-allocated to packs or whatever, it could be different. But Mickey and Friends, okay. I still like Mickey and Friends, just because the cards, other than the commons, I believe, even the commons are good, right? I mean, like Mickey and whatever. That's why I'm more bullish on Donald Duck than any of them. I still think Mickey and the rest are fine, but these are just very unique. the gold trim, the look, the lenticular aspect of it, that when you move it, it shows a room that's very synonymous with like their personality. It has the signature on the back and the music and all that stuff. So it's like, I feel like any crazy collector of a certain character or whatever would very much like this. I just like Donald Duck because the lower mints of 10,000. I mean, this is less than Donald and Daisy Golden Moment, so it's like there's less of these than FA Donald, right? So I do like the lenticulars. I mean, is it something I'm maybe like hard stacking, or if I'm buying 200 of these? Yeah, I mean, with just me financially, the gems I have, like I wouldn't, but I mean, if you have the gems or whatever, like then go for it. I mean, these are pretty damn cheap. I mean, they're getting to the point of box price, right? Like 40 gems. Now Mickey's down to 58. Minnie's down to 55. Daisy's down to 52. I mean, they're getting pretty close to box price at this point. And I still have my Minnie Mouse that I paid 550 gems for. So my investment is literally down 90%. It happens. If Veve goes packs, I'm just gonna be a pack dealer. Dude, that's great. We need people like that. Veve needs that. And I really hope that they don't show the full amount of like the possible outcome of cards or something. In a weird way, I kind of hope Veve keeps it a secret until like maybe all the packs are opened or something like that. I think that'd be kind of cool. But yeah, dude, a pack dealer it's just guaranteed money. It's guaranteed free profit. Yeah, of course, there's a chance you won't get a Charizard or some shit. Like, okay, you can't. You know, would you rather roll the dice and have a very small chance to win, 40,000 gems? Or would you rather just take the guaranteed 5,000 gems over and over and over and over? Like, yeah, I believe it's going to take at least a few months or even a year or two to get a strong bull run. I don't really mind. I'm working on AR projects and I'm really bullish on Veve items. Hell yeah, Arthur. That's awesome. And I think, yeah, it's going to take time. I think people are doubly really try to realize that, like, oh, we're really early on a lot of this stuff. I haven't said this before. I'm like, the whole Veveverse thing, I'm surprised. A fully functional Veveverse. I'm like, I think I said this before, where it's like, it's going to take like 3 to 5 years for people to start warming up to the idea of NFTs and licensors getting on board, just because there's so much negativity around NFTs, especially with the most recent like Bored Ape Yacht Club, what's it called, documentary thing. People are still very wary of it. It's still a very bad word to say. People think it's not eco-friendly. People think it's a scam. People think it's because the Bored Ape Yacht Club, it could be tied to some like weird like neo-Nazi like weird agenda thing. I don't know. At least that's the Bored Ape Yacht Club, right? There's so much misunderstanding around NFTs. That's why I like to describe it as just digital collectibles. Companies are incentivized to do it because they can make repeat income on it, unlike anything else. If Disney releases this exact card physically and they make 1 million of these, they only get paid once each time a card is sold. So they get paid 1 million times once. But if they're releasing 14,000 of these, they can get paid indefinitely. As long as people are trading this card, Disney's still getting paid, no matter what, right? So that is the nice thing about it. And on top of that too, right? Like, they have to pay an artist to look at this. They have to go to the ink manufacturer to make sure everything is right and get the gold trim and get it embossed and labeled and all the shit that it comes with making a physical card like this, and the signature on the back. If they want to put a microchip in it, or a little speaker on the inside, so it plays, ridiculous stuff. That's so much manufacturing and transportation and quality control like that they have to manage. Or it's like, or we could just make a digital card that does the exact same thing and we get paid indefinitely on it. Like, I think that's a better way to explain Veve Collectibles, is that these companies are incentivized to keep this going because they get money indefinitely. And that's why so many companies prefer subscription models, whether it comes to gaming, MMOs, or Disney Plus, like all that stuff. Like, they prefer subscription models so they can show their shareholders, look how much repeat business we get month to month to month, and it's repetitive and it's indefinite. Like, that's the kind of stuff. And it's so much easier to track that stuff rather than, all right, we're going to make a big toy line or this or that every few months, and like income waves go up and down. Like, it's, I don't know. I know I'm kind of going off on a tangent, but I think that's a better way to explain this whole NFT thing than, okay, here's utility and this and that. And like the utility is a bonus to keep people interested in the old stuff. But how much lower do you think the market could dip? I think 20%. Dude, I don't know. I've been asked and I've been asking myself that question for the last 6 months. How much lower can it go? How much lower? I'm not sure. Could it get to the point where a lot of stuff is low? I'm not sure. But again, it's hard to speak like this, to be honest, because there's a lot of people in the community that think talking like this is FUD. Oh, it's going to take a year, 2 years to get back onto a bull run or hit all-time highs. Like, well, what are you talking about? We got this and this. Yeah, I get it. If it does, great. If it doesn't, it kind of saw this coming. Like it's going to take a while for this stuff to recover, and only because we're this early, right? Yeah. T-Breeze recently went to Disneyland. There's a redesign of the Mickey and Friends area, and coming soon promotion work looks identical to the lenticular cards. Okay. Did you have any pictures of that, or like, did you take pictures while you're at Disneyland about like the new art or like what you think it's going to look like? If you do, please tweet it at me, and also at Randy Chavez. He would love to see that too. Hard to tell, reacting to dip. I've just started to pool my money into grails with the idea that out of some stacking, those grails aren't going to be a thing for a few years. Yeah, and I think the nice thing is I will be hopefully getting a new like full-time job here in like the next month or two, and I'll be able to just pull some money together, because I mean, I make YouTube because between doing some other independent stuff and YouTube, like I was kind of just doing it full-time, because I have another channel too as well, which is why like content hasn't been too consistent. But not like the market's down so much, and it's like actually kind of nice because it's another opportunity for me to like go out and make some actual money, and then now I can start buying some grails and stuff. I do think grails, my strategy is to like stack grails, and then any money I have left over, or like if let's say I put in $2,000 onto Veve and I buy a Todd or whatever money I have left over, I'm probably just going to stack some comments or stack some comics as well. So because I want to have some plans for the very long-term future by stacking grails, but at the same time, I still want to play the game of flipping and selling and playing drops and stuff. So I do think that's where kind of stacking some common comics will come into play. Austin, I would like to see more of the DreamWorks NFTs, maybe something like Shrek, not necessarily for profit, but just for my collection. I don't know why I laughed when I said Shrek, but it's just, Shrek is just such a meme-worthy character. He's just memed on all the time. He's in tons of stuff. So I think it's funny that we want Shrek. I wouldn't mind Shrek. Not a huge Shrek fan, but hey, Veve Vibes. Sorry I'm super late. I hope that you're having a good Sunday. Hey, chat. What's up? Yeah, we're going to hop off here somewhat soon because we've been going for a little over 2 hours now. But we're kind of just chilling, shooting the shit, having some fun, talking about whatever. I didn't take any pics personally, but I could probably find some on the net. Yeah, if you could, that'd be awesome. I mean, just like if there is evidence that we're like, oh, we're getting like lenticular card style art, or like Disney's promoting it, or this style, that'd be cool. Below the Sun, I feel like it could go 80% deeper, but that would be fine because until it I'm gonna look that up. Democratize prices will be low, but then I believe it explodes in January. It will look ridiculous. There needs to be a series of things to make it just go boom, right? I've said crypto to NFT. We need a combination of licensor utility. We need that, to be quite honest. Like having digital collectibles, it's in and of itself can only go so far. So like the very first thing that if Disney gives some like absurd utility to the collectibles, that's going to bring a lot of attention to it. Advertising, both on Veve's end and licensors' end. If Veve actually starts advertising, I don't even know how or what that would look like on what platforms, but if licensors like Disney, if Disney legitimately started handing out flyers that said, hey, check out our Disney NFTs on Veve, download it for free, buy our collectibles, get exclusive access to certain regions of the park, get half off concessions, get free tickets, free fast passes, this, and that by owning our collectibles. Go check it out. Handing out flyers, literally at Disneyland, saying that stuff. That's huge. And then if also Veve gets crypto and NFT, like that's another catalyst too. Like we literally need more people on the app, more money, crypto and NFT, and and the only way to get more people on the app is just word of mouth works to a certain extent, but like we also just need to accelerate it too if we're trying to get prices to go up. Like I think we just genuinely don't have enough money in the app for it to like just stuff to just skyrocket. Because remember, there's an 8.5% burn on everything Disney. There's a 2.5% burn on a lot of the old school stuff. So that's exactly the reason why I wanted for the memes. Yeah, so yeah, I knew it. Because earlier, like, not necessarily for profit, but just for my collection. I'm like, they're a collection of memes, right? That's why I just imagine all of the Vaultaholics or all the people just zoomed in Shrek faces, or just like putting a Shrek face on like every Mermacorno, or on Todd's face, or on like just putting Shrek's face on every Grail, and like Shrek holding Shrek's hand on like the Walt statue. Like I could totally see that happening. I think everything can go a lot lower. What realistic catalyst could cause a pump during this year or during this bear market? Crypto NFT. I really think that's like MCP. People are saying MCP is gonna be like a huge pump, but that's not gonna get new people on the app. It's only gonna cause the current people that are already on the app to potentially put in more money. But I feel like prices are so low that like if you're gonna put in money, you would have already done it, or at least like planned on doing it. I think if anything, MCP will just cause people to reconsolidate their vaults to like move stuff around or sell this, and now I want more MC points for this or whatever. I feel like that's what MCP is mostly gonna do. And then yeah, MTL cashing out is, you know, cool. It's nice to have an exit strategy that could get some more people on the app, but again, that's only gonna get people on the app that have already heard of Veve for the most part. And honestly, even a handful of whales isn't enough to like to bring most of these NFTs to even half their all-time highs. Like even if we get a bunch of whales, even if we get 100 whales, like it's still not gonna be enough. Silver Surfer Black is being stepped on. Is it really? Is it because, I mean, we're getting the first appearance Null comic, which does play a part in Silver Surfer Black, obviously. I think it's just like too new to like not do well. I don't know. I just don't know. Super Bowl ads, haha, true. Yeah, I mean that could help. I'd rather, you know, that of course that's just the US, and I'm sure there's people internationally that watch the Super Bowl too, obviously, but yeah, I just don't know what it looked like. This year, I think Pokemon can do it. Yeah. Next Pokemon year day or whatever the hell it's called. Next year on Pokemon Day, that might be the time. I don't think people are spending their ETH at 1,100 bucks a pop, though. To be honest, even if our user base doubled, the first half would just take profit in the market like this. Devil's advocate. No, I think that's a legitimate concern, right? A lot of people are might be, yeah, either the cash out, or they want to be done with it, or they do want to liquidate ASAP, or people that do have huge stacks of things like you know, Todd or some of the season 1 stuff. Yeah, they're going to try and liquidate sooner rather than later. Yeah, I think that's legitimate thought, and I do think that too, Brayden, that we need the market in general, like the economy, to some level, at least the crypto side of things, to recover. I don't think we need the economy at large across the world, or at least in the US, to recover. But if just crypto in general just starts recovering, which is usually tied to the real world, right? Real life events and stuff like that. Random question, but have any of you guys played XCOM 2 or XCOM 1? I guess it's the same kind of game, but XCOM 2. I bought it on Steam during the Steam summer sale. I played it. I just started playing it like 4 or 5 hours ago. I played for a few hours, and it's a lot of fun. And I've been thinking about, because to be quite honest, I said this earlier in the stream, so a lot of you new guys don't know. Probably I mentioned this already, but I really think after San Diego Comic-Con, there's kind of not a lot of stuff to look forward to on Veve. Like the next actual like physical event we have is what, DCon in November. And I think that's it. And like, okay, we could look forward to like MCP if they come out with a MCP program, because like MTL is going to be rolled out, the web app, all that stuff is going to be rolled out, and like it's like, okay, like what now? Like what's the next big thing we can kind of look forward to? And I think what I wanted to do after San Diego Comic-Con is just basically do occasional streams of me like playing video games, and I'll just have fun with members, and maybe you know, either I'll do like Pokemon runs or maybe do some with like XCOM and just name the characters after members of my stream, like members, just add another layer to the fun. Because I'll be honest, like I was a little concerned, not even concerned, but just kind of upset, but also a little bit concerned that like, okay, like my whole spiel of the channel and stuff is about the market and just having fun, obviously. But like when the market's doing nothing but going down, like there's kind of not a lot to talk about. And when people are asking me like, oh, what would you stack? I'm like, well, if I did have money right now, like I wouldn't be stacking, or at least like certain things, right? Like me right now, like I'm not buying anything until Comic-Con. Like me personally, like I'm not buying anything for the next like week, unless I find something, an incredibly low mint or something's just blatantly mispriced and like, okay, I'll buy it. But, you know, if I'm talking sweeping the floor of something or whatever, it's like, I'd rather just wait till San Diego Comic-Con, because I do think like certain things could just dip down further, right? Just DM me on Twitter. It's the same pose as, oh, okay. Let's check it out. Thank you for the tweets. Dala Dazzler. Ahoy! I'm in Australia, so ahead in time. Just a heads up, Monday is awesome. Good to know. LMB Bats, do you think crypto and NFTs can be the next official currency since the US dollar keeps getting less valuable? Oof, that's... I don't know. To be honest, I don't know. It's highly unlikely, but... Unfortunately, I do think we'd probably have to get rid of everyone in Congress that's above the age of 40 and replace them with all people that understand with how crypto works. And then maybe it'll happen. I don't know. I'm not that nuanced with all that stuff, especially when it pertains to like government involvement and like what's connected and stuff. Let's see. You said he tweeted it at me, T-Breeze? I don't see it. Oh, okay. Oh, it's a personal message, I think. The hell? Okay. Well, I'll follow you back too, by the way. I don't know why it's making me like confirm these like pictures and stuff. I don't know, it's so weird. I'm not too familiar with Twitter, so I apologize if so can I like minimize this? Let's do this. So these are the pictures that you sent me. Appreciate it. Okay, that's not what I wanted to show. Give me a sec here. What the hell is going on? Okay, what about this? Okay, cool. We got it. I got it. I figured it out. So this is what, thanks for watching me on your phone. Yeah, it looks like I'm in the top corner. But this is it. Transforming coming to Mickey's Toontown 2023 at Disneyland. That looks like that's the exact same pose. He's just flipped. Yeah, he's got a little zigzaggy tail too, and yeah, that's the exact Mickey. Interesting. Yeah, that looks just like it. That's cool. Hell yeah. Thanks for sharing that. I might share with that with Randy or whatever the next time he's gonna do like a Disney stream or something. I think my brother played that a few years ago and really enjoyed it. You should try it on stream sometime. I think after San Diego Comic-Con, honestly, until there's a big drop, or unless there's like a big event or a big thing that's happening. Like, I just don't think there's a lot that's going to happen. This is going to be a bit of a dead period, which I think is fine for me. I don't think there needs to be constantly things happening or new events or new stuff, but Veve analysis YouTube. Hard to have a non-fungible asset as an official currency. That's what I'm thinking too. T-Breeze. Yep. Yeah, I just showed it. It's really awesome. Thanks. I'll check out that game, XCOM 2. I'm selling stuff just to have an insurance. Yeah, it's, dude, yeah, Dana Marquez, it sucks, dude, because they had it on the Steam summer sale. I got this whole pack that's apparently worth like $100 and something, whatever it was. I think it was like $130, and I got it for $13 on Steam summer sale. So I got like 2 expansions and like 2 storyline things plus the original game for like $13, which usually costs like over 100. So Steam summer sale's over. I mean, you can still buy it, obviously. You can buy the base game for, I think, $20 or something like that, maybe a bit more. Yeah. First thing I do, bought Streamlabs. Yeah. Referring to NFTs, crypto is definitely possible. Yeah. The dollar actually has been gaining strength, which is bad for crypto. Huh. Interesting. I've been telling my friends to hold his ultra rare Vader until at least the next bull run, hoping it pays off some of his college. If the market is following crypto, maybe 2024 for the next run. That would not surprise me. Like I said, I think the fact that we can cash out to crypto, and even if we do get crypto to NFT, I think that does basically what's it called, like blood infusion, right? It's almost like we've kind of now entangled our fates, our pricing and all that stuff to crypto, like, because Veve was a kind of, it was an independent exclusive market away from everything else. It was in its own environment. But now that we have cash out to crypto, I think that does kind of tie our value a little bit more to crypto. And then especially if we get crypto to NFT, that's where it's like, we're really going to follow the trends of the market, I believe, of crypto if we do that. So for better or for worse, that's what's going to happen if we do a crypto to NFT. Let's see. Sorry, this other thing here I gotta respond to. Cool. Yeah, I mean, could Vado grow cheaper? Possibly, but I think just holding them till next bull run, like, you just can't go wrong with that, right? I mean, if you spend $80 on it on drop, right? You want it on drop. I mean, there's something to be said where, all right, selling it now and then cashing out right away might be worth it, rather than waiting for 2 years. I mean, it depends. I don't know what your friend's situation is, so I will say that might not mean anything. I'm a big Mickey Mouse fan, and that's this new design from a series that started in 2013. They also have a new series called The Wonderful World of Mickey Mouse. Gotcha. Cool. Yeah, I mean, it's just a cool thing to think of, and the fact that I think the biggest thing is that it's at the Disney parks, right? I do think that is a big deal. If it's at the Disney parks, not just some show or this or that. It's like it's doing both. It's a show as well as a at the parks. So cool. Yeah, I just want to kind of run some of those ideas by you guys. I think it's perfectly fine. It's funny because I'm a moon boy, but I'm also a I don't know what the opposite is. Not a fudder, but moon boy, but also a rock boy. I'm very grounded as well. At least I try to be. I try to think from both perspectives, because I think just thinking moon constantly is not good, but also just thinking constantly ground level and trying to compare it to everything that's already happened is also moot, right? Because NFTs and all that stuff is just a whole new territory. But I do think the biggest things that's going to control the market is the biggest things that can help Veve right now is we need more people on the app. We need more money. More people means more money in the app. If we can get some licensor utility slash, what's it called? If we can get some utility slash advertising by some of our licensors, like especially Disney. That's going to cause it to do really, really well. And I think the final thing is crypto to NFT. That's what we need. If it happens, even if it happened at the end of the year, I do agree, you know, with ETH being like $1,100, or maybe by the end of the year, it's more or less, or whatever the hell happens. It's still way lower than what it used to be. So people might not want to cash in just yet. Comment, you are being realistic. I try to be. And I think it's unfortunate, but some people in the community, even some content creators, not too many, but some might be upset with like, why are you saying this? And it's like, dude, I don't even think I have enough control. Like, I mean, I got fucking 33 people watching me right now. It's not like what I say is going to flip the whole market on its head, or, and that's the other thing too. It's like, even if I did have that kind of power, it's like, would you want to be like in a market, or would you want to be somewhere where like one person with like not even 100 viewers can like just flip the market on its head? Like, I just dictate anything I wanted. Like, I don't know, it's just silly. Hoping Jaunty Jig goes below 70. It could. Anything could happen. Any news on merging NFTs to one account? Thoughts if the collectibles on your second phones get stuck there for a few months? Hopefully not forever. I have no idea, dude. And honestly, I'm kind of preparing to possibly sell all my collectibles on both my other phones and just fully transfer all the gems to my main account and try and rebuy what I can. I have no idea. I don't want to do that, but the thing is, if my 2 extra phones get KYC'd, they're stuck. They literally can't do anything. And until, you know, Veve might say, all right, you can KYC one of the accounts, but, you know, if you have family members, you can KYC them. But I'm like, all my family are already on Veve. Like, I can't, I don't know. So we'll see. Well, end of year price prediction, Matt Mars. 4 million or 4 gems? It's going to be one of the two. It's going to be either at 4 million or at 4 gems. At most, 9.9 million. Hell yeah. Justin says, to anyone visiting San Francisco and is a Disney fan, visit the Walt Disney Family Museum. They have the first known drawing of Mickey Mouse in the museum and tons of old Disneyland items. That's cool. I remember hearing about that. There's like a Walt Disney Museum in San Francisco. It's cool. Matt Mars, 2 Walts or SR Spidey? 2 Walts. That's just me, personally. I wouldn't feel less guilty selling one, keeping one, rather than having an SR Spidey and mistiming it. And plus, if Disney does do utility, I do think Waltz will have better utility than SR Spidey. The team said we'll have an opportunity to merge accounts. It's Vader or Todd? Vader. Personally. Always got to say personally, not financial advice. And so this is what that was the tweet they sent to me, or in response to me. So I can pull it up here because that was officially what they said. This was a while ago. Okay. Let's see. So this is what a Veve officially said. Because this is my tweet. Reverend Alex G, any update on when we can expect NFT transfers to come back? I'll even zoom in so you guys can see it a bit easier. You guys can read that, right? Cool. I know you guys have already seen this tweet. Is MCP a thing we'll be able to transfer once you KYC? There will be a path to consolidate your accounts. We recognize many people have multiple accounts, but you will only be able to KYC one per person. No need to scramble. Communication, all this will be coming soon. They never mention anything about family accounts, right? So what could happen is There will be a path to consolidate your accounts. We recognize many people have multiple accounts. But you will only be able to KYC one per person. So what this could be is, this is unintentional, but it could be doublespeak for, okay, look, if you have extra phones because you have family members, as long as you KYC all of your phones with your family members, you'll be fine. That is a way to consolidate your accounts. They said no need to scramble. Communication on all of this is coming soon, right? So there's no talk about linking accounts, or if you do have extra phones, you'll be able to trade them, or like, you know, no one knows what's going to happen with this. What I'm afraid of is, I think Veve wants people to be able to combine all their NFTs to one account and just be done, but there could be legal and or insurance reasons or whatever it is that, like, look, all right, the only way to consolidate your accounts is if they're all KYC'd. I don't know what to tell you. We did say it in here. You can only KYC one account, one per person. The ability to consolidate your accounts is dependent on if you can KYC it. That's it. I mean, that's technically true. You can consolidate your accounts if all of the phones are KYC'd. You can do it. They never said, hey, if you have multiple phones, you know, whatever. Like, no need to scramble. So that's what I mean. I think in some way their hands could be tied as to how they approach this. So part of me is like, so I want to play it safe and unfortunately eat a 8.5% fee on my UR Vader and then get that to gems and then buy a Toby off myself and then eat another 2.5%. So I'll be eating like an 11% fee, moving all of my collectibles to one account to play it safe. Or I could wait to just see how this plays out, right? Because I don't think there'll be a way where you'll just get permanently locked out, but you might have to just find a way to get those accounts KYC'd, which isn't the hardest thing in the world, but I would have to find people that would KYC and would like never want to use Veve. I don't know. It's difficult. So this is the official tweet. They never said it's, you know, it's the same thing that Veve said about, oh, we have 20,000 users on the app per day making new accounts, or we have, was it 2 million active users per month? It's like their verbiage of active users is different than ours. Their verbiage of active user is someone that logs in like once or twice a week, which, wow, I mean, there's 2 to 3 drops a week. So as long as someone logs in once, they're an active user. And if they're bots or whatever, or, you know, and the new users a month, that's just bots replacing the old ones that got banned or don't want to have any kind of trace of connection. You know, it's unintentional, but you have to be very careful what they say, and it's corporate talk, right? It's nothing against them. I don't think they're intentionally trying to like mislead us or anything like that, but I think they are saying ways in a certain way to cover their ass in case certain things don't pan out, which I totally don't blame them. Golden moments feel like a lot less special now compared to when they were first announced last year. Somewhat. That's why if I did buy golden moments, I'm sticking to the first set. The only ones I would not buy from that first series is like Donald and Daisy and like maybe Winnie the Pooh. Everything else, like, I think you can't go wrong with C-3PO, R2, Iron Man, Homer, and Bart. Like, I don't think you can go wrong with those. Go watch At My Collectibles video on Vader or Todd. His answer is my answer. Oh, I don't think I've seen that one. I'll have to watch it. Garrett, yes, but they never gave a time frame. It might be a while before we can. Yeah, that's the other thing too. So, and that's what I mean is we're kind of on a timer now, because the second my 2 phones, my extra phones get KYC'd, they're locked forever until I can find someone that wants to unlock them or get them KYC'd, right? So these times feel slow and weird. Haven't felt like this since the beginning of the pandemic. Yeah. Comment. That is a good point. / analysis. Veve analysis. Yeah. So yeah, it could be a while, right? Like, all right, until we can figure out a way or a legal loophole or something we can do to consolidate your NFTs, those accounts will just be locked, not forever, but just until further notice. But that one phone or that one account you did KYC, you can do stuff on there. And it's like, oh, okay. Always look for a moderate approach when watching streamers. I appreciate that you just don't say all the NFTs are going to 0, or everything will be $10 million. It's going to be a middle ground. And you know what? As of right now, I try to take the community sentiment. I try to take, because you know what? I'm not that guy that has the capability of just putting in infinite money. I can't just put in $1,000 a week. I don't make that kind of money, at least yet. So I'm a bit more realistic with my predictions, and I'm not overextended or overinvested with the app, so I can kind of keep more of a level head on it. Unfortunately, I do think a lot of people just trust whales because they have a lot of money. It's like, oh, look at this guy that bought, you know, 1 million Vaders. It's like, he's so smart or special or whatever. It's like, nah, he's just a dude with a lot of money. Maybe he just worked in, you know, the dude is 55 years old and he's been a software engineer for 30 years and made a shit ton of money, you know. It's like he doesn't, I don't know. I'm not going to go on a tangent on that. Comments, LMB Bats. When Veve first started, Todd was in the market for the longest, and Marvel Comic 1 was 4 gems on the floor. Hang in there. Yeah. Times were just different back then, and we're still early. Like, that was super early, and people had no clue what they were even getting. I think probably there was maybe like 2 comic book collectors on the app that actually like knew what the hell they were doing, which is why Marvel Comics 1 eventually went up. But like, now I think we have enough content creators, we have enough knowledgeable collectors in this space to like, all right, when something is dropping, we're like, all right, this is really good, we need to go after it, instead of just like, there's hardly any content creators, there's hardly anyone telling anyone what's good or not, and people are just kind of just guessing, right? So yeah, I don't know. But we're just in a different phase right now. We're still super early, but it's just, these are, it's not as bad as the early, like, first year when like there was just like no market, no nothing, but like this is kind of a different form of like the dark times, you know. Other ideas of ways Veve can implement passive income besides renting? Any other ideas of ways Veve can implement passive income besides renting? Like for people that own the collectibles, passive income wise? If technically airdrops, right? If you own an NFT, technically, you know, if you get airdrops, that's passive income because you're kind of just getting it out of nowhere and then you can sell it, but that's unreliable. Maybe if, I don't know why I just randomly thought of, like, maybe if NFTs represented some sort of stock or like share of a company, or maybe a product or an asset or something like that, like physically, or something that worth something in the real world. I don't know. That's a tough one. Besides renting, I'm sure there's something that, you know, in the Veveverse or metaverse, whatever the hell comes of it, people want to like go visit a museum. God, the only way I could picture something like that happening, and again, this is just my brain, it's like a Veveverse where people are just completely enamored with just like, oh my god, look at all these season 1 and like early collectibles on stuff. It's like, I'm just thinking like the year like 2030, like that's the year that like comes to mind, or it's like all these collectibles that were dropped 10 years ago, and all the whales, everyone's already made their positions. These things, there's so many people on Veve and Metaverse and Veve, and NFTs are just so mass adopted 10 years from now or 8 years from now, whatever. And then that's when, you know, even 15 years from now, where it's like, that's when people are like, seeing a Todd collectible would just be like, no way, like, really? Like, that's crazy. Like, I don't know. I don't know, I'm just thinking of passive income things. I'm sure other people have some smart ideas on how to do it. Staking at dividends, something like that. That's what I kind of meant, staking. If it was like tied to something like that. You can find new users, have them KYC for you, and they can keep that account. Well, they're not going to like the names of the accounts. Let's just say that. But that is true. They could do that. So yeah, I mean, this is nice to hear, but the vagueness and the unclarity and the recent changes of gems, the recent changes of a lot of things that happens on Veve does make me a little bit concerned that my extra phones could be locked indefinitely until I get them KYC'd by someone, which again, it's not the hardest thing, but just the way how generically the verbiage of this is. Because technically, if the only way to consolidate your NFTs is to get them all KYC'd by family members, that is technically a path to consolidate your accounts and KYCing one per person. Because it says right here, we recognize many people have multiple accounts, but you only will be able to KYC one per person. So does that mean they all need to be KYC to do anything? Or you KYC one phone and then you can like connect others, but then why would they allow that to transfers? Maybe it's a one-way thing where you KYC one phone and then there's a series of security things you have to overcome between the two accounts to link them. And transfers can only go one way. So that account still can't buy or sell any NFTs or anything like that, but maybe you can still transfer NFTs, but only in one direction. You can't receive NFTs, but you can only transfer them to the parent account. Yeah, so I think something like that could work. We'll have to see. I mean, again, I'm not sure what the implications of that is or what the hurdles involved with doing something like that is, but it could be a thing. Daniel Marquez, thanks. I be researching into more NFT projects, and half the time I see the media bashing NFTs. I get exhausted sometimes. Yeah, dude, I think that's another thing people overlook is just the general sentiment around NFTs in general is not good. So it's like I mean, look at what like even when God, what's it called? Even when Reeker came out with Star Wars NFTs, like the Star Wars community was up in arms about NFTs, and then same thing with the whole gosh, what's it called? The whole Cthulhu thing that we had on the app. All those people left, so that company stopped wanting to make NFTs because they wanted to appease their fan base about NFTs. I don't know. I didn't wait for whatever they're saying. I didn't wait for whatever they're saying. My extra account has $1.99 gem comic and 0 gems. So you already moved all your stuff, Execu Speak? You already like sold everything and like transferred it over? Is that what you're saying? 1 KYC per phone may be a solution. Can't be the same person. Well, it says we recognize people have multiple accounts, but you will only be able to KYC one per person, or be able to KYC one per person. You'll only be able to KYC one phone or one account per person. That, and when they say but, I think that means that's the exception. Like, hey, we recognize you have multiple phones or accounts, but you can only KYC one. So I'm not sure if that's the solution, or maybe I'm misreading it, but it sounds like, hey, we realize, you know, Bats, LMB Bats has multiple accounts, but he can only KYC one. That's what it sounds like. They don't care about the name, just let them keep the mighties. Oh. Usually I'm not much into the 2D art, but it would be cool if Veve had a limited run of something, maybe the Mona Lisa or Starry Night for 1,000 mints, maybe in 100. They already talked about that, Austin, with the Artist Alley thing that they got going on, which is unrelated to the Artist Alley like first appearance of like Wonder Woman and Hawk Girl and all that stuff. Hawk Girl. I have to sometimes say Hawk Girl too much. It sounds like I'm saying Hot Girl. Hawk Girl. That's independent of that. So they did say like once the web app comes up and probably deal with 10 other things they got going on, they'll be doing things like 1 of 1 mints potentially with artists, and Mona Lisa could be one of them. Yep, already consolidated. That's probably the smarter move, dude. But I also like having multiple phones, so I could get like, that's the reason why I got a secret rare stamp. So it's like I want to consolidate, but at the same time, it's like having 3 times the chance of getting drops or getting stuff. It's just like too good. I don't know. We already have a passive income in a way because we're essentially staking our collectibles for MCP points, which can be used to buy accessories that can then be sold on secondary. That is true, Garrett. I do like that. Even though it's like chance based, right? It's all random in a way. If you're going for the side raffle system that they have going on. Cool, guys. Well, thanks everyone for stopping by. Fun under the sun. Thank you so much for the $5 earlier. You're a local scalper. I appreciate that as well. What does this do? Is this replay? Okay, it just replays what I did. I was just clicking a button and it's already replaying it. So I don't know why it shows it again like that, but so I don't know why it says that. But again, everyone, thank you so much for stopping by. Streaming for a while. It's nice to hear. I like to have these more level-headed talks, let's say, and talking about things on Veve. And also, I mean, I'm still bullish on the whole project. Like, that's why I'm still making videos on this shit, and I enjoy it. And I do want to put more money in it. Don't get me wrong, but just you know, and also why I'm going on Veve Bros stream tomorrow at 12 to go hang out. And dude, please watch that stream. Those guys are hilarious. I honestly haven't belly laughed in so hard, but when I watched Tony get some OMI, or Tony get more OMI or something like that, that dude is hilarious. So if you guys go on my Twitter or go on yeah, I think if you go on my Twitter, I retweeted it, the stream. Those guys are just freaking hilarious. So I really, I'll link the tweet again so you guys can check it out. This one right here. Veve TV, which is also known as the Veve Bros. Those guys are just so funny. Just relink the stream. That tweet. Good point. Thank you. Good night, vibes. Thank you. Sorry I was late. Yeah, don't be sorry that you're late. Like, you got real shit going on. I know you said, yeah, I know you got real life stuff going on. So as always, thanks for the stream. Great talk. Yep. Cryptos with Taco. David, you said in AMA 3 months ago that you can only KYC one per person, but certain users will be able to counts in time. Okay, cool. Certain users will be able to add accounts in time. I'm kind of curious how that would play out, because would that still entice people to have like multiple phones and like still play drops with multiple phones? Or I guess maybe you won't be able to play drops. Maybe you can only buy in the market but not play drops. I mean, that could be an alternative. Like, okay, you can have extra phones, but you can't play drops on those phones. I don't know. Yeah, but yeah, please check out the live stream tomorrow. Dude, these guys are hilarious. You need to watch these guys. I had a lot of fun. I'll be over there tomorrow. Just found them. Yeah, they're funny. They're small time. Let's click on their. Is this it right here? Yeah, it's already set up and everything. Yeah, these guys are funny. Dude, Tony's on the left. That dude is hilarious. I've already liked it. Boom. First like. Dude, look at all those hashtags, bro. Veve, ecomi, Veve vibes, Veve market, Veve marketplace, OMI, Marvel, Disney, Veve livestream. Veve, MCP, raffle, Veve. Let's go, dude. They got it all. 14 hours from now. Hopefully I'll be awake by then. FA, Veve vibes. I need to fix that logo. I could have sworn I uploaded the logo without the white box around it, but whatever. Those guys are clowning. All right. I'll talk to you guys later. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. And Cryptos and Taco, it's actually good to see you, dude. But I meant to reach out to you the other day because I've been wanting to do a thing with like some newer content creators, and I haven't seen you around in a minute. And I think it was talking with Veve Bros that kind of reminded me to do something like that, like a segment, because there's a lot of new good content creators. It's just it's really hard right now in the current market, and like everyone, like there's way less people watching Veve YouTube videos than ever before, and so I mean it happens. But yeah, maybe I'll contact you later another time to kind of get caught up with you. If you want to pay for multiple phones, then that's fair game, to be honest. Yeah, this point, I'm watching Veve Bro streams for the comedy first, and then Veve talk. Exactly. I'm gonna have more fun. I'm actually looking forward to the stream because I just want to just shoot the shit and have fun. And we'll talk about. I think they wanted me to talk about like my raffle system thing, which is kind of fun. But I'm more there just to have fun. I'm just gonna poke. I'm probably gonna poke fun at Tony most of the time, but it's still gonna be fun. But yeah, cool guys. I'll see you guys later. Take care. Please double and triple check all of your listings so you don't screw yourself over.